you see the Reddit post? I think a month ago with the wife who thought her husband thought she was cheating on her. She thought he was cheating on her. No, he thought she was cheating on him. I'm sorry, Jesus. Okay. And they because they'd done a paternity test because something was happening with their kid, and the husband found out the kid wasn't theirs.
I did see this.
Yeah, and then she found out that the kid wasn't hers either, and was by the hospital.
What'd they do?
The hospital switched babies at birth.
Yeah.
So when she had the paternity test, he demanded one. He had
of course, which is
because
fair.
of the way the kid looked. He's like, this kid doesn't look like me. He got really suspicious. Had a paternity test and it wasn't his. And she's like, I never cheated. I would know if I cheated and I didn't. So they had another paternity test and it came back that he wasn't the father again.
Holy shit.
And she's like, I don't know what to do. There was a Reddit, it's one of those where they do updates over time. And so then they had a maternity test and it wasn't her kid either. And they were switched at birth and they think they got money out of the hospital. And
can you imagine the roller coaster ride that you and your spouse would have where one of you feels so like it? Like, no, it can't. No. He's like, really he's like, that's not my son. You cheated on me. Like there was a time where he believed that, right?
Yeah.
And then she must have been like, no, I didn't cheat on you. What the fuck? And like where is she at during that? And then like taking that full circle, and both of them at the end being like, we both got fucked by the final.
So here, let me ask this to the
real
board.
twist would be her finding out that or before it's revealed at the end, she comes clean and she's like, I actually did cheat on you. Right before the hospital breaks us up, and like, actually we switched your baby. She's like, oh no.
If you're her, do you at any point in this thing have bad vibes towards your husband for him not believing you, for him being suspicious of you?
No, because you were trying to tell him something that you were telling a lie. You just didn't know it was a lie.
Well, I think everybody feels
and he could see through it. Are you mad at him for his lie detecting skills?
I think that this is something I run into a lot for like casual sex stuff, right? Is there are some people, if I hook up with somebody, usually I'll like just ask, like, when was the last time you were tested? Because if I want to fuck you and you want to fuck me and you're willing, probably fuck other people too. Some people, just by the virtue of asking that question, will immediately get like upset. And it's like, what, like, you're either of the mindset where you're like, okay, well, it's reasonable for you to ask these things. Or there are a lot of people I think in life that are geared towards like, just the fact that you don't trust me, regardless of what evidence you presented, is enough to make you upset. Is enough to make that person upset. So there are just some people that are like that, I guess. Yeah.
Most
people
like,
I can't believe you wouldn't trust me. And it's like, okay, well.
Yeah, that's a real shitty attitude to take. I've never experienced.
It's like, well, I mean, I'd better safe than sorry. And like,
or it's like, if you were lying, you would say the exact same thing, wouldn't you? You can't say, I found out a lie. You can't say that in an argument with your significant other because you come off as hyper schizoid autistic. But yeah,
that's a horrible situation. Those poor people. Jesus Christ. I wonder how often that actually happens.
Here's the question. What do you do with that baby?
How old is the baby?
It was just like a year or so, right?
You can take that back. You can swap that right. You can swap that right out.
No. He's
I know.
5 years old.
I want cash credit. I want cash credit for medical stuff.
Well, that other couple's taking care of your kid.
It depends on the other baby, because you might actually be ahead on that. If that other baby's a sick baby, if you had a sick baby and they raised it to their one and they took care of all the medical bills, that might have been a good investment for you.
Then in that case, it just falls under finders keepers law.
They kind of shorted your baby. They borrowed it, they returned it when it was worth more, and they got fucked on the trade, I guess. Yeah,
it's a bad investment. It's a bad
kid real shitty. You hear about those like fertility doctors who will slip their own sperm in and father like hundreds and hundreds of babies?
Yeah, those Sigma males.
Heroes, yes.
Jesus Christ. Hey, you gotta say, I mean, here's a doctor.
Yeah, right? Is he a good-looking doctor? I mean,
it's like very sciencey rape. Is what it is.
It's really horrific. Like I wouldn't like that. I wouldn't like that.
No one would like. He's the only guy in that corner. No one else is like, I get it. Yay.
Yeah, I think there was an X-Files episode where something like that was happening. Somebody was slipping their sperm into the fertility clinic because the kids all had the same genetic mutation where they had tails. And it's like, all right, let's find the one guy who has a tail.
Dr. Ratzman. But wait,
it wasn't me.
So I read the post about the baby that was switched at birth. They don't know what happened to their biological baby, and she's terrified about that reality. Hopefully, I
thought there was an update where they said that they had found them and they were reaching out.
I thought that too, but I just read it.
Oh shit!
Maybe
Did we
you
get
can
Mandela
scan it
affected, or
yourself.
did it actually?
Could have got updated.
Oh,
Thought we found him, but we didn't. Or her.
Well-
They probably don't even know. Well, I'm sure they knew they had the baby.
have y'all done 23andMe like an ancestral thing?
Mm-mm.
My brother
see-
did, but I never have.
I'm so goddamn white. I pulled up my results the other day. I hadn't looked at them in a while. I think it's 98.9% like Northern European, like English and Irish specifically.
My brother, he didn't like show me the page or anything. He was like, oh, I did it. And he did it like a couple of years ago and they sent him an update. And he's like, yeah, like there's a big mix of European, but the only like two big ones were like British and Italian.
Yeah. Mine is.
I thought I was pretty French. Maybe,
I have a
but I guess
tiny
not.
amount of Scandinavian and then that fucking 2% Neanderthal, which is hilarious.
Well, if you're of European descent, you got a little Neanderthal in you.
Damn.
Usually.
So I haven't done one. My mother did one, and if I have my facts right, and I don't know her percentage of Neanderthal. It's hard to compare it to yours. It was like she was more Neanderthal than 98% of people, or something like that. It was like it was stated in a different way than yours. I don't know if 2% is like slightly above average or like way, and you're 99.9%. Like you see how they're not the same.
I wonder if they were still around, like if they need their own sports leagues because they were like stronger.
I thought they had bigger brains. I thought they had bigger heads, but they were dumber. I don't remember.
I think they had bigger brain and like maybe were they a little shorter and like broad? Like they were stronger. They were like more muscled than us.
They weren't
kind of like
dumber.
Kyle's dog, a little bit.
Oh,
Yeah, a little-
come on.
There's a reason that we persevered and they couldn't.
Yeah.
He watches this.
That's what he watches. He watches the
It's
show.
all right. He won't
damn it.
understand.
Sorry, Rocky.
If he could read, he'd be upset.
As a Neanderthal, I've done a bit of research on this. They were just as intelligent as you Homo sapiens, and they were they had art, they had jewelry, tattoos, and stuff, and advanced flint weaponry and all that.
Yeah, it was
stuff.
like that cave art though. Like,
There's got to be like a cool racial slur you can use or something. Being 2% Neanderthal, there's got to be something there, right?
we gotta figure this.
You got to
out.
figure, yeah.
And we
Wikipedia
have
that
to
one, yeah.
like make sure that everyone with Neanderthal ancestry is
Yeah,
on board.
no.
That we get pissed if people use it. That's our word.
Oh wait,
That
actually,
we're extinct. Like that's how
This
hard
act-
we were oppressed.
Just
We were
instantly
extincted.
start fighting as soon as someone calls you a, I don't know.
This reminds me
crumb
of a really old set of commercials. Was it Progressive? Who had the caveman?
caveman
easy-
commercials.
Yeah,
Geico,
it's so
right?
easy when a
Geico.
caveman could do it. Oh, Geico, yeah.
So I went deep in this Reddit rabbit hole today and found an 8-year-old post that this guy created about a dramatic event. And it just sunk in my head and I thought I'd share it. Here we go. Last semester at a certain college, I was assaulted by a football player walking around where he was trying to drive. By the way, it's important that the person telling the story is a guy. He weighs 120 pounds, so I had it wrong for a bit. He was
Is he really a guy then?
He was 325 pounds. I was 120 pounds. And while unconscious on the ground, I lived a different life. I met a wonderful young lady, and she made my heart skip and my face red. I pursued her for months and dispatched a few jerk boyfriends before I finally won her over. After 2 years, we got married, and almost immediately, she bore me a daughter. I had a great job. My wife didn't have to work outside the house. When my daughter was 2, she bore me a son. My son was the joy of my life. I would walk into his room every morning before I left for work and doted on him and my daughter. One day while sitting on the couch, I noticed that the perspective of the lamp was odd, like inverted. It was still in 3D, but just wrong. It was a square lamp base, red with gold trim on 4 legs, and a white square shade. I was transfixed. I couldn't look away from it. I stayed up all night staring at it. The next morning, I didn't go to work. Something just wasn't right about that lamp. I stopped eating. I left the couch, only to use the bathroom at first, and soon I stopped that too, as I wasn't eating or drinking. I stared at that fucking lamp for 3 days before my wife got worried. She had someone come and try to talk to me. By this time, my cognizance was breaking up, and my wife was freaking out. She took the kids to her mother's house just before I had my epiphany. The lamp isn't real. The house isn't real. My wife, my kids, none of that's real. The last 10 years of my life are not fucking real. The lamp started to grow wider and deeper and still has inverted dimensions. It took upon my entire perspective, and all I could see is red. I heard voices, screams, and all other kinds of weird noises before I became aware of the pain. A fucking shit ton of pain. The first words I said were, "I'm missing teeth," and I opened my eyes. I was laying on my back on the sidewalk, surrounded by people that I didn't know. Lots were freaking out. I was completely confused. At some point, a cop scooped me up, dragged/walked me across the sidewalk and grass, and threw me into the back of the cop car. I was still confused. I was taken to the hospital by the cop. It seems he didn't want to wait for the ambulance to arrive, and given CT scans and shit. I went through about 3 years of horrid depression. I was grieving for the loss of my wife and children and the knowledge that they never existed. I was scared that I was going insane as I would cry myself to sleep, hoping I would see her in my dreams. I never have, but sometimes I see my son, usually just a glimpse out of my peripheral vision. He is perpetually 5 years old, and I can never hear what he says. And then he goes on to talk about it, but basically this guy got hit by a football player, has 10 years of imaginary memories where he had a wife and kids, and then he came back too. And he goes on to say, I've had personal messages describing similar experiences and 3 posters saying that such experiences are impossible. Yeah, so he's depressed. He lost his wife and kids that he never really had. It just fucking sunk in with me. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't believe any of that. And I think even if any of that had happened, he really dodged a bullet by getting out of that whole wife and kids thing.
Also, what a dumb wife to wait 3 days before she was concerned about him staring at a lamp and not eating.
Yeah, maybe she could have pulled you back if she'd noticed a little earlier, you dumb fuck. Maybe watch where you're going next time. Nah, I don't believe any of that.
Post history is like the post before it is just be like, hey, can you guys recommend a good junior high school in the area? Like,
I'm checking out his post.
I'm sorry, I don't believe that.
Look, it's well written. It's an interesting story, but basically what he's saying is, I got hit. I had a dream, and because it was such a vivid dream, I'm now sad it's not real.
Yes.
We've all had vivid dreams that were sad aren't real. I dreamt I won the fucking World Series. It's not like I woke up be like, I mourn the loss of my baseball career every day.
Yeah, but what he's describing,
I can't pitch.
What he's describing is extreme time dilation, which I don't think is possible to that degree. I think Pardon?
Inception. You just gotta keep going dream within a dream, and then you're fine.
Essentially, yeah. Like Inception's silly, but the idea of time dilation is a real thing. It's factual. Like, I'm sure you've had that thing where you just kind of fell asleep for 10 or 20 minutes, but it seemed like you were having a really long dream. And I think normally we have no idea how long. Like, we might have a dream that goes on for a long time that we're doing the dreaming thing, that we're conscious of the dream. But you wake up and you're like, I wonder how long I was actually dreaming. Like, if someone was on the outside running a stopwatch, I bet it was different in the stopwatch in my mind. And it is. It absolutely is. But not to the point where lying on the sidewalk before someone can render aid, you experience 10 years of memories. Like, does this guy remember any news reports from 10 years of our future? Like, is there anything like that? Like, of course not.
Think so.
Right?
No, it's just a memory that's implanted while he was unconscious.
He actually remembered the stock market and what happened with it, and
that'd be helpful.
Well, I don't think he thinks this really happened, but I think he mourns the loss as if it were real.
Oh, well, that's even sadder if he knows it. Like, I was under the impression that he was suggesting that, for all intents and purposes, while it wasn't real, he didn't go to another dimension per se, but he did experience these things, and therefore they are real, right? Like, if you fell in love with a woman, like he had a whole courting process that he described, where he had to like win her over and beat out other suitors. And then, 2 children. He's talking about 10 years of memories. Yeah, I don't buy any of that. It'd be a cool Twilight Zone, though.
Yeah, no, I stick with what I said. I don't know. I think my interpretation's on target. I think that he woke up, realized it was all just a dream, but it hurt just as much. And
I've experienced that.
I agree with the time dilation point that Kyle made. Like, I've had super vivid dreams. I have a tendency to dream very, very vividly sometimes. And like, I'll wake up and remember the whole fucking thing. And over the course of, probably the last 20 minutes I was sleeping for real, because, you're not dreaming that the whole know, 6 hours you're sleeping, or in Kyle's case, you know, 8 to 12. But like the idea of that dream, you know, and maybe a dream might take a couple days. Like I've had dreams where it's happened over the course of a couple days. 10 fucking years of every moment in that, like I do not think that part's possible.
Yeah. I take a supplement that helps with lucid dreaming, and it actually has, I think has worked, because almost every night now I have these really intense, cool dreams.
Is it for lucid dreams? Like,
yeah.
Do you take a supplement so you can have more interesting dreams?
Yeah.
Oh, it's not like a side effect of a supplement for some other reason.
I mean, it's a sleep aid, but the whole thing is it's like, it says lucid dreams on the front. It's Derek from More Plates, More Dates. It's his company. It's Gorilla Dream, I think is what it's called. I think it's called Gorilla Dream.
The first time I read, when I was a kid, I read about lucid dreams, and in the thing that I read, it talked about how like they realized they were dreaming, so they decided to fly. And that has stuck with me so much that every single time I've ever had a lucid dream, I fly.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the thing I do, because that is so buried in my mind. Like I associate that with lucid dreaming, and I'm never able, as I'm waking up, I go lower and lower. Like I can't fly high. I can only go like maybe 10 feet. And then as I'm waking up, I'm kind of gliding a little bit. Like I can't keep it up. And I realize I'm waking up, and that's how it works. But like I never do anything in lucid dreams but fly. It's ridiculous.
I almost always fly, and I often rape.
I used to have lucid dreams where I could fly. And when I was a kid, I was great at it. And the only thing is you had to like concentrate really hard to fly. That was like the thing. And sometimes I wasn't able to muster that level of concentration, but mostly I could. And as I got older, this is like, you know, up until 10 or 8 or something, you know, I slowly lost the ability to focus enough to fly. And I think like what Peter actually happened was maybe I was copying the story, but in my head, I had this idea that as I learned that you can't fly, that slowly became even my dreams reality.
Interesting. Yeah. So when I'm having a fully lucid dream, and I mean it's to the point where I have the full where I'm standing there and I say, okay, I am in a dream. I am asleep, but while I'm really asleep in bed, I am in a dream right now. And I can make this like the Matrix if I want to, if I really concentrate. What do I want to do? And then, but sometimes it's in between. It's like, I think I'm in a dream, but I'm not sure. And I need to be sure before I get to raping, you know, because there's going to be consequences. And so like, Steve's not loving this. So I'll pinch myself. So I'll pinch myself. But the problem is, at this point, I can feel pain in my dreams now. And so I'm oh, that's, well, she couldn't at first, but if I concentrate real hard, she can.
I'm not.
What?
I refuse for this to be the end. You will not see me laughing at this story at all.
So, you know, I'll pinch myself and I'll try to determine if it's a dream. But the problem is, like, now I'll feel pain and I'll be like, well, that did hurt, but did it hurt like it normally hurts? I don't know. I don't pinch myself a lot in real life, you know? I don't remember what. Yeah. And then I'll be like, well, I need some more serious pain here. So I'll stab myself or bite myself, like really try to hurt myself. And then I'll be like,
shouldn't that be enough of an indication that it's a dream that you're willing to stab yourself?
I need to be sure before I get to raping Taylor. I've been to prison before.
You really dot all your I's and cross all your T's in a situation like this.
Look,
you know what? I was a fool to ask initially. You're right.
Thank you. Go cloacal kiss somebody. You need to be sure.
This whole thing right now is a dream.
It is not a dream.
Might be.
Because that hurt quite a bit when I pinched myself. I don't know why I didn't mime pinching myself. I literally did pinch myself, and it made no sense. Actually, when I was pinching myself, when I just pinched myself, I didn't feel like it hurt enough, and I was like, uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Why would if I'm dreaming? Why would I have Steve on the show? Of all people,
It's a nightmare.
book someone better.
Yeah. If this were Kyle's dream, it would be Woody and I wouldn't be here. It would be like him, Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Who else? Who else
4
would be on
frames
here?
of just Kyle.
See, Woody knows. Woody knows.
Kyle 1, that was a fantastic joke, and I loved it. Oh, thank you, Kyle 3. Yeah.
I have a story about rabies. It's about a 2 or 3 minute read, but I think it might be interesting. You guys down?
Yeah.
Now,
All right.
no, we don't have time.
Rabies. It's exceptionally common, but people just don't run into animals that carry it that often. Skunks, and especially bats. Let me paint you a picture. You go camping, and at midday you decide to take a nap in a little hammock. While sleeping, a tiny brown bat in the rage stages of infection is fidgeting in broad daylight, uncomfortable and thirsty due to hydrophobia. And you snort, startling him. He goes into attack mode. Now there's a little video here. I'm going to link it to you guys.
Yeah, rabies is pretty scary.
Dude, we're just warming up. Hang in there, but I want to watch the video real quick. You guys there?
Yep.
Yes.
3, 2, 1, play.
Caught on camera, this video shows it as it happens.
Do you see this little bat?
The bat attacks and bites the man right in the neck.
Read Andrew's
That's all you need to see. All right.
Awesome.
That would be so scary. Just, oh, there's a fucking bat biting your chest.
Bit him in the neck.
If you think that's scary, buckle up. Except you're asleep, and he's a little brown bat, so he weighs around 6 grams. You don't even feel him land on your bare knee, and he starts to bite. His teeth are tiny, hardly enough to even break the skin, but he does manage to give you the equivalent of a tiny scrape that goes completely unnoticed. Rabies does not travel in your blood. In fact, a blood test won't even tell you you've got it. Any-tests may be done, but they're useless if you've ever been vaccinated. You wake up none the wiser. If you notice anything at the bite site at all, you assume you just scraped on it or something. The bomb has been lit, and your nervous system is the wick. The rabies will multiply along your nervous system, doing virtually no damage and completely undetectable. You literally have no symptoms. It may be 4 days, it may be a year, but the camping trip is most likely long forgotten. Then one day your back starts to ache, or maybe you get a slight headache. At this point, you're already dead. There is no cure. There's no treatment. It has a 100% kill rate. Absorb that. No single other virus on the planet has a 100% kill rate, only rabies. And once you're symptomatic, it's over. You're dead. So what does that look like? Your headache turns into a fever and a general feeling of being unwell. You're fidgety, uncomfortable, and scared. As the virus that's taken its time getting into your brain finds a vast network of nerve endings, it begins to rapidly reproduce, starting at the base of your brain, where their pons is located. This is the part of your brain that controls communication to the rest of your brain and body, as well as the sleep cycles. Next, you become anxious, and you think you have only a mild fever, but suddenly you find yourself becoming scared, even horrified, and it doesn't occur to you that you don't know why. This is because the rabies is chewing up your amygdala. As your cerebellum becomes hot with the virus, you begin to lose muscle coordination and balance. You think maybe it's a good idea to go to the doctor now, but assuming the doctor is smart enough to even run the tests necessary in the next few days you have on the planet, odds are they'll only be able to tell your loved ones why you died later. You're twitchy, you're shaking, and scared. You have the normal fear of not knowing what's going wrong, but the virus is really fucking with the amygdala, and this amplified 100-fold. It's around this time that the hydrophobia starts. You're horribly thirsty, and you just want water, but you can't drink. Every time you do, your throat clamps shut and you vomit. This has become a legitimate, active fear of water. You're thirsty, but you're looking at a glass of water begins to make you gag and shy back in fear. The contradiction is that it's hard for your hot brain to see at this point. By now, the doctors will have put IVs in you to keep you hydrated, but this is futile. You were dead the second you had a headache. You begin hearing things, and you're not hearing things as your thalamus goes. You taste sounds, you see smells. Everything starts feeling like the most horrifying acid trip anyone has ever been on. With your hippocampus long under attack, you're having trouble remembering things, especially family. You're alone, hallucinating, thirsty, confused, and absolutely undeniably terrified. Everything scares the literal shit out of you at this point. These strange people in lab coats, these strange people standing around your bed crying, who kept trying to get you to drink something and crying. It's only been about a week since that little headache that you've completely forgotten. Time means nothing to you anymore. Funny enough, now you know how the bat felt when he bit you. Eventually, you slip into the dumb rabies phase. The brain has started the process of shutting down. Too much of it has been turned into liquid virus. Your face droops. You drool. You're all but unaware of what's around you. A sudden noise or light might startle you, but for the most part, all you can do is stare at the ground. You haven't really slept for about 72 hours. Then you die. Always. You die. And there's not one fucking thing anyone can do for you. There's the question of what to do with your corpse. I mean, burying it is the right thing to do, but the fucking virus can survive in a corpse for a couple of years. You could kill every rabid animal on the planet today, and 2 years from now, some moist, preserved, rotten hunk of used-to-be brain gets eaten by an animal and it starts over. So yeah, rabies scares the shit out of me. It's fucking everywhere. Source, spent a lot of time working with rabies, would still get my vaccinations if I could afford them. Yikes. Welcome to America.
Did you say who this was?
Some rabies worker. And so a lot of people started like countering it and saying, you know, that like they're like deaths from rabies are rare, but that doesn't mean rabies is rare. The reason the mortality is so rare in the US is due to aggressive treatment protocol of all bite cases in the United States. If you're bitten and you can't identify the animal, or if the animal were to die, you get treatment regardless. So they treat you for rabies in America, even if they don't know if the animal's rabid. They just assume it is.
Better safe than sorry. Yeah, that sounds.
Turns out, yeah, I read this and it was fucking like impactful. I was like, oh my god! And the fact that it has 100% kill rate and there's nothing they can do. The second you have a headache, the second you might, I wouldn't even seek help for a headache. I would wait longer. I would
imagine how fucked it would be if that was airborne and not biting you.
Yeah.
Well, I guess so. There's rabies vaccines. I didn't even know this.
Yes. Yeah. But they invalidate rabies tests.
What do you mean?
So if you've had a rabies vaccine, you have the antibodies, which is how the test works. So I can't tell if you've been bitten, right? You will test positive for rabies because you've been vaccinated.
So even if you're vaccinated and you get bit and they can't tell, they still put you through the rigmarole of all of it?
I'm not 100% sure.
I don't know either.
That's depends on how long ago you got vaccinated. I think it's like a tetanus shot, right? Where it's just it's going to wear off,
yeah,
and become ineffective while at the same time messing up the test.
Have you guys ever seen a rabid animal? To my knowledge, I've never seen. What was it doing?
It's fucking foaming at the mouth and walking around people when it shouldn't be.
I've seen a bat in the daytime, though maybe.
I guess I didn't realize that was such a huge sign that I had rabies.
The biggest sign for me has always been that they're not afraid of people anymore. They're walking around in broad daylight when normally they'd be skittish even at night.
What is this? A
raccoon?
A raccoon?
Yeah, I was taking out the garbage once late at night at my college.
It was a raccoon. I don't think possums can get it.
Possums can't get. Well, possums are disgusting. They can probably get anything.
No, I think he's right. I think possums are weirdly.
Not only are possums immune to the rabies virus, but they also eat an enormous amount of ticks, apparently. And so thank your local possum next time you see.
And they have thumbs, I think, maybe.
Well, they're marsupials. They're the only North American marsupial.
Now you know. They got little pouches, keeping those ugly little babies in there. But if they're eating ticks, I'm cool with them. I didn't realize.
Yeah.
They are hideous.
A lot of ticks. They are hideous.
They are hideous.
They're one of the ugliest animals I've ever seen.
I shot one once and I felt real bad after.
Why? All the ticks that are going to be bothering you?
I just felt bad. I should have shot him.
Yeah, it's not like you're going to eat him. You just shot him for fun?
I don't know. Had a gun. There he was.
Yeah. You gotta, right?
He's looking like a target.
He looked like a target. Shot my Scott shot an armadillo one time. We felt bad about that too. We'd never seen one before.
Don't like all armadillos have rabies? Like they don't.
No. It's the plague that they carry.
Oh yeah, they
carry the plague. The Black Plague. You know, the one from the movies.
Yeah. From when it killed a third of Europe a few hundred years ago.
I foolishly saw one running across the desert one time and immediately sped after it on a foot chase. They're not that fast. I caught it as it was going down into its burrow and grabbed it by the fucking tail. And I'm like trying to pull it out. And the guy goes, "Let it go." And I'm like, "All right." I was like, I wasn't going to kill it. I just wanted to catch it. He's like, "No, they carry the plague." And I'm like, "Oh.
You got any Purell? Yeah.
Got any Purell?"
This is a text in. I'm sure he's got Purell on him, right?
Yeah.
Get on it, or hope you don't get
I got kerosene. That will do.
That actually probably, I don't know much, but
I would if kerosene had been offered at that moment, I would have kerosened up and said I kept my hand away from my face until we got back to soap and water.
yeah.
I caught him though.
But I caught that motherfucker, and you can never take that away from me.
Are you a
right,
good runner, Kyle? You look like with your build, it seems like you could be, or were a good runner at some point.
No. I mean, like long distance, I was always okay. But I'm very dangerous over long distance, but not a natural sprinter. I was okay getting to first base, but just average. Like definitely not a speedster or anything like that.
Today I fucked up from Reddit. Do you guys want to hear this?
Yes. What are your thoughts before on if this is real or not? Like, if you've read it before, what are you going into it with? Because that's always what I am.
Oh, shucks. So I think it's real, but I am prone to thinking that.
Okay. Let's hear this.
All right. Today I fucked up by getting high with my fiance. Last night, I managed to finally convince my fiance to smoke weed with me. She's been anti-420, but now that we're just a few weeks from getting married and being all grown up and shit, she went full YOLO. Fast forward to seeing my fiance high for the first time. She became extremely relaxed and talkative. It was cute at first, listening to go on and on about life and love, and then shit got kind of specific. She mentioned how she never expected to be with someone like me. I didn't even have to encourage her to explain because the floodgates were already wide open. All the details spilled out without any fucking filter. This is what I learned from my fiance that I never knew before. 5 points. 1. Most of her past relationships ended because she was notoriously promiscuous. 2. As per one of those relationships came to an end after she cheated on her boyfriend by hooking up with his younger brother, which was also cheating on the damn brother with his best friend who just so happened to be the same sex. 3. I'm the first guy she had to do the fake orgasm thing with. Apparently, all of her exes push the right buttons, whereas I don't. My asthma is a turnoff when it comes to sex because she feels like she needs to hold back so that I don't get too excited and die. And the last one, all of her exes had horse dicks. Of course they did. And I'm her first average. Those were some of the key points. I was too traumatized to register whatever she said afterwards, and I don't think I blinked for the rest of the evening. Too long didn't read. Convinced my fiance to get high on relationship-destroying weed. There's an update.
Relationship-destroying weed.
That's some good weed.
Update.
Good stuff.
Even though I knew what my fiance said would haunt me forever, I was willing to bury it in the back of my mind and pretend like last night never happened. However, my fiance wanted to talk, so we did. It was brutal. She said my mom was right about her being wrong for me. Long story short, all of this shit was building up to her admitting she'd been sending nudes to one of her horse dick exes, a fucking Chad. I am emotionally destroyed. It doesn't even feel real yet. So I have trouble accepting it's over, but it is. I guess I'm returning that ring and getting a PS5. Appreciate all the advice.
Well, clearly you're what a bitch. What a bitch.
What an absolute cunt.
You've got to know that the PS5 is going to be inferior to a PC in every way.
Get into the core of it. Yeah, I like it.
PlayStation 5. Some console, mealy-dicked console nerd.
Truly, I don't think either of these two are built from the right stuff, right? One's a cheating whore and the other's a console player.
Which is worse?
What's her? Does any information on this young lady? She sounds like a blast.
Kyle's like, got a phone number? I'm down for open relationships.
I mean, she sounds funny.
She sounds great.
I wonder how those lines were delivered. See, I don't know if I believe this.
He doesn't deserve her.
That's where we're going with this. He doesn't deserve her. I like it. I
agree. This guy's a fucking loser.
PS5.
This wasn't one of our fans, was it?
No.
This was like a public. Like,
if this was a PKA viewer, he'd be like, "Hey, I'm returning this ring and getting a 3080 and that new AMD chip that they just announced."
The PKA viewer is the horse-dicked X.
Yes.
And free nudes, and she's giving him that pay pig's money.
Taylor, this sounds like a $50 Patreon you're describing here.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, I'm the opposite of you, Woody. I always have my dials.
She's actually going to be in our fuck show this weekend.
I hope.
This lady, that'd be funny. A small world if it was. But I don't think so. So we'll, yeah. I mean, the first time you smoke pot, who gets that talkative? Really?
That's what they said. I think I've told this story before. I've only smoked pot twice in my life. Both times were out of country in the Dominican Republic. And I think it was really low quality weed. I don't know much about weed. The first time they said I got really talkative, but I maintain that I just am really talkative. And the guy that I was arguing with was intentionally pushing all my buttons. I remember it was this conversation about Wild West. You know, you count the 10 and you shoot the pistol. Is it a showdown? What the hell do they call that?
A duel.
Sure, duel. Anyway, he was like, your reaction time is faster than the time that you decide to do it. So the guy who waits for the other guy actually has the advantage. That was his standpoint. And I'm like, no, but the starting times are not the same. Like, you're reacting to that all that time it took me to decide to pull it doesn't even count in the equation because you're second place in this decision-making process.
This is a very high discussion. You're right.
Yes. Anyway, they were like, Woody, you're talking so much. You're obviously high. And I'm like, I feel nothing. This does nothing for me. And this guy is making a really terrible argument that I can't seem to let go. I don't think this is a weed thing. And then the next time I felt sick, really sick. So I didn't know, I didn't really have a weed mentor. Everyone was just smoking and so I took this really the biggest inhale I could off of an apple bong, I guess, the apple, whatever.
And they were some high rollers, huh?
We didn't have the tools, they had a idea, which was a website where you insert the things you can find around the house. And then they'll be like, well, you're just like a ballpoint pen away from a bong. And where you could engineer that. So anyway,
just go to any high school and ask anyone. And they'll,
as a website though, wouldn't it be fun to be like, I've got a paperclip, an old watch, a coffee cup, an apple, and a big pen.
Yeah.
Oh, that exists?
Yeah, there's an app for that.
Okay.
Really?
Well, we thought we were really clever. But I felt terrible. And I felt nauseous. I was coughing even long after I'd stopped smoking it. And I'd spent my time sitting on a curb with my head between my knees waiting for it to pass.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. So this was actually on the Painkiller Already subreddit. And I'll kick right into it. I was having trouble coming up with what I should do, and I have no idea where to get some advice. So I thought some of the PKA fucknards, that's our the collective group for our fans, could help me get some advice. Maybe if I'm lucky, the host themselves. So to set this premise, I'm a 16-year-old male who's still a virgin, and I'm 70% sure that I'm bi. I have a male friend who's been going out with some chick for a couple of weeks, and they have invited me to a threesome. My problem is I still haven't lost my virginity. I'm not sure if I should wait till I have lost it properly with one person in a committed relationship before I have a threesome, or just do it and get a cool story, losing my virginity in a threesome. I've been racking my brain over this, and help is appreciated.
Who wants to go first?
Taylor does.
I say go for it, dude. You're as
A
long
devil's
as they're
threesome?
your age. Oh, it's a devil's threesome.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But
Oh.
he's bi, so he's into that.
Oh.
What's a devil's
then-
threesome?
It's when there's
Devil's
two
threesome
guys,
is
Two
with
guys
two
and a girl.
men and one woman.
as opposed to
Oh.
two girls, which is just
I didn't know there were names for them. What's the other one called?
just a threesome, I think.
Just a
or
threesome.
menage a trois, maybe, or devil's threesome. Yeah.
Or if
Yeah,
you're using
devil's threesome
acronym,
is two dudes. If he's bi, then yeah, go for it, dude. At the worst case scenario is it's the one chick that you're both going to be worried about predominantly pleasing. So if you guys fail, you're only shouldering 50% of that burden. Also,
the
you're
focus will be on
16.
her.
Nobody's expecting you to be a fucking, Don Juan in there figuring that shit out right away. It's kind of an understood thing that you're going to be new. Like, it's not like you're 25 and this is your problem. You're 16. Get in there. Try it.
I do have a perspective on this. I lost my virginity at, I think, 13 in an interracial fivesome with 2 drag queens. And
Is that story true?
Heard
Yes.
that before.
No, that's true. That's true.
Go on.
Page one of the autobiography. And as crazy and preposterous and absurd as that was, and it was, and I'm a terrible Christian. I'm sorry, Jesus, but the thing that I've taken away.
I like that.
The thing that I've taken away from it, and the sex afterwards, is basically like the first time really doesn't matter that much, and you're gonna put so much like ludicrous emphasis. I'm such a bad Christian. You're gonna put so much ludicrous emphasis on this. The best advice I can give you is to start and don't stop for the next 4 years. Just like have so much sex, like just fuck everything that moves, and don't like try to forget that it's your first time. Just like blaze through it, have a good time, enjoy yourself, chill. Don't get like fucking head up about it, because it is just the one instance of hundreds of future instances, and you're going to enjoy loads of them, and you're going to really not enjoy loads of them. So just blaze through it and don't like treat it as this big, huge life moment, because it isn't. You're going to have like incredible, like mind-altering, life-defining sexual experiences in your life, but the first time you have sex is unlikely to be one of them. So just get through it. And then once you basically know once you know the sort of anatomical mechanics of it, then you're good to go. You know, you can start exploring what you really want.
I just rubbed chili powder in my eye, so I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. Don't go to the bathroom by accident or anything. I did that I did that 2 weeks ago.
On there, right?
I'm sorry, I had an opinion on the topic.
No. On that guy's advice question, and the way that you kind of handed it out to us first, I figured that you might have a different opinion on it.
I really struggle with it, actually. Like, I'm a parent, and part of me feels like, I have a 16-year-old. It's a girl, not a guy. But if she went to some minor league internet celebrity asking for advice, and he said, "You know what, sweetie? I think you should fuck everything that moves," I would be like, "Dude, that's not the advice I want you giving me."
I probably wouldn't have given that advice to a 16-year-old girl, though.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it is different.
So, going to this guy, my gut says, do this. I don't predict that he'll have a lot of regrets over his first experience being with 2 friends. He wants to be in a committed relationship with someone whom he feels deep love with. I don't know. I want him to be in a safe space, when he does this. I don't really like Mila's first experience, but if it's with 2 friends.
I did.
Well, maybe I'm wrong,
Be serious. Did you really like your first experience?
Yes, I did. But I appreciate that pretty much anybody else in my position might not have.
Okay.
I was a little sexually precocious, so I would not advocate the interracial fivesome with 2 drag queens for just anybody.
So you were asking for it?
Begging at various points, but yeah.
Yeah. So how did that?
Were they older?
Yeah. How did that go? How did that start?
Yeah, because you're 13. I feel like you shouldn't be having sex with 13-year-olds.
Yeah, good rule of thumb.
Yes.
Thanks, Taylor.
No, I mean, not they were a little older, yes, but I was very sexually.
But they weren't 28.
Well, not quite 28.
But wow, so they were grown-ups.
How old were they?
Older. I mean, I couldn't tell you.
But they were grown-ups.
Yeah, but I think as I was very sexually precocious and definitely the instigator of that situation. There was no kind of like exploitation going on there. There are plenty
into a situation, or
there are plenty of 13-year-olds who would not be able to deal with that and would probably get swept up in it and not really be able to consent to that kind of activity. They just sort of feel pressured into it. I was completely and totally aware of what was going on, was the primary instigator behind it, and was very happy with it.
Do you think that's impacted your current sexuality at all? Anything to do with that event?
No, I'm gay because it annoys my mother. I'm not gay because I lost virginity.
You're like, I hate it, but my mother hates it even more.
No, this is it. Like, I'm sure God hates fags, but he hates feminists the most. So like the more
That's
of them
the
I
Bible.
beat down, Huh?
But
That's in the Bible. There's a lot more in the Bible of women being abused and put down than there is of homosexuals being
I don't think God actually cares that much about gays. I mean, it's in there a couple of times, but not really.
Before
I don't
we
think there's a
completely
God, but if
leave
there
this
were one,
topic,
he doesn't care at all.
I feel like there
stop
might be
that
some
now.
people who care about my opinion on this topic, because that's like sort of my role. When you lose your virginity, I would recommend you do it in a safe space, a place where you're not going to be interrupted by somebody else, a place where you don't fear for your safety, a place where you even if it's like in this case, it's with friends. That doesn't completely turn me off, so long, like friends care about each other too. It might not be a terrible experience.
Yeah, go for it.
Sorry
Yeah,
to
get
cut
it in,
everyone
man.
off.
Go for
but I wanted to get that out there.
Maybe it turns out that you're all the way gay.
I think it's good advice and a good, nice avuncular way to finish it. But yeah, bottom line is 4 out of 4, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one. I saw that earlier in the week too, and in my head, it's like, yeah, dude, go for it. Fucking do it. If that's what you're into, you like that, yeah, absolutely. Make it happen. It sounds like a real opportunity. I don't remember being invited to many 3-ways when I was in high school.
I've never had it.
Oh, how many
Yeah.
16-years get invited into a threesome? Lucky little bastard.
Like
Yeah.
none. None. I've never met a single 16-year-old who would take me up on my offers.
Every threesome
Every
every threesome I've ever had, I had to be the architect.
That's a really
right?
dirty smile you have on your face. You're really pleased with yourself about that one.
a little bit.
Every
Yeah.
threesome I've ever had, I had to be the architect of this thing. I had to
Same
be
here.
I had
Same
to be
here,
putting
and-
things together. There was a
thought
lot of
that's the
forethought. I'm imagining Legos in my head and how things are going to stack together. Like, yeah, this will work. This will
But this
work.
is the great thing about men because they tessellate. You can fit an endless line together,
Yeah.
and
You can make a circle out of it.
No,
and
exactly.
I think that's how you create cold fusion. Yeah, you get the circle of. You have to get the rhythm right, though. You can't be all uncoordinated
It's
with it. Or
Hadron Collider.
You could have saved money
gay
on that
sex.
big reactor thing in Switzerland.
yeah, yeah.
No, this is the thing about men. They tessellate. It's
I feel
great.
like women do
You-
too. Am I missing
you can
something?
Just keep putting them together forever, like Lego. No, men and women, like you eventually run out of orifices, and it gets all awkward. They don't tile, like men tile.
I was gonna say
Men and women don't tile. You can't just sort of fit an endless number together because it just gets like very awkward and limsy. Whereas men just fit together endlessly.
yeah.
It's a good argument. Good pro-gay argument. More efficient sex.
Yeah.
Mhm. Oh, that reminds me. Let me tell you this story. So you know how in Iran occasionally a girl will turn you down, and so like, you know how it is. You blind her with acid.
Sure.
I have heard about that. in
Okay,
some of those countries.
so that went down. Exactly that. Dude blinds her with acid, melts her face.
Ugh.
The judge sentences that she shall blind him with acid.
Ah, a little Hammurabi. I'm good with that.
And so they strap him down to a doctor's bed, and they got a vial of acid and a doctor there, and she's there. And they're like, all right, blind him. And she goes, mercy. Doesn't blind him. She let it get all the way to the day of the blinding. She let him get strapped to the bed. She let him get his eye all open like he had something stuck in it real bad. They got the vial of acid out, taking the cork out. It's like little steam comes out.
Oh,
I wish she fucked with it. She
effervescent.
should have said mercy and then dumped it.
Doused him.
Yeah.
Actually, blind
Dude.
him.
I can't see, so I have no idea where it's going.
yes,
Whoops.
please.
There's more acid.
Oh, that's
I was on the
terrible. I wish you would
Petty
have done
Revenge
it.
subreddit,
Yeah.
and it was the worst revenge ever. I wanted to get your guys' opinion on this because I
love these.
hated it. I'm gonna poison
it
the
too
well
far?
here. No, it wasn't far enough. So,
Yeah.
I think it was a guy, and this guy's living his best life. He's grown up. He's financially successful. Everything's going well for him, etc. He goes to eat at a diner, and he finds his high school bully working there. Now, this guy just looks disheveled. His shoes are those of someone who can't afford better shoes. And he can just sort of size up what this guy's life is as he's like bussing dishes at a diner. And the person who was bullied isn't recognized. But what he does is he leaves a $50 tip, like he way over tips him and walks out, knowing that like he kind of the best revenge is a life well lived. And busboy didn't even recognize the bully victim. So the bully victim just walks out and is like, I'm the better man. And I'm like, the fuck? Like, slipping money into somebody's pocket is not revenge. Like,
neither of these are revenge. Fucking
worse.
Blind both of them. Take their money. Get them fired.
I'd have gotten fired.
Put some fentanyl in his tip. Here you go, buddy. Here's an addiction for you.
It'd be like, are you Marcus? Oh my gosh, how are you doing? Is this where you work? I'm a tax attorney or whatever, some badass field he might have been in. And
you like whip off your sunglasses. I'm an accountant.
He's there in his Waffle House uniform, like afterwards.
Yeah, just have a conversation that demonstrates the difference in how you guys turned out, and go. You can still tip a lot if you want to rub it in.
I bet if you dropped a bunch of dishes, they'd fire him.
Blame it on him.
Yeah, you got that whole bus tray. I would yell at him like, "Ow! You rolled right over my foot!" As you tip over the whole thing. Like break like $40 for the dishes, which is like his daily pay.
This guy's saying racial slurs under his breath while he's taking my dishes away.
Yeah, something like that. Or maybe you get your girlfriend to say he touched her inappropriately, something like that. Yeah, girls are always up for that. They love it.
That is brutal revenge. So you're going full ruined life.
Well, no, I'm just saying,
or maybe you follow him. Maybe you go out in the parking lot. You wait and you follow him home.
Now we know.
And then you light, like, I don't know, you ruin his mailbox. Start off.
I think
slow.
you want to set the house on fire and wait for him to come out the front and pick off anybody.
This is a war of mental attrition. First thing I do, I get his spirits
Does he have
up.
children?
I mow his
really
grass
add
for
pressure.
him. Second thing is I start stealing all. Actually, no, I don't want to actually get in real trouble. I won't steal his mail. I'll burn his mailbox down. And that'll be enough that he'll be scared. And
burn a mailbox down?
Just, put something in it, hit it with a bat.
You don't want to steal mail, but you're going to commit terrorism?
Well, not terrorism. It's creative.
Wait, the IRA?
Creative punishments.
You're the fucking Unabomber out of nowhere. He's just a bully. Leave him alone.
No, the bully probably did recognize him and stole his story and put it on Reddit.
I wanted to get him to lose his busboy job. Worst case scenario is he gets a better job because there's nothing worse than busboy.
How old is this guy that he's bussing?
Oh, no. From context clues, I gathered like late 20s, 30s.
Late 20s? Okay, early 30s, late 20s. Well, yeah, that's actually, maybe you don't want to tussle with the Waffle House busboy in his 30s. He probably has experience fighting. He absolutely has an enormous amount of fighting experience.
He works in a gladiatorial arena and he's got a grease knife. He's got a grease spatula in his back pocket. Okay, and it's sharp.
Waffle House
a sharp spatula?
Like
why did he get bullied?
Scrape down that griddle with?
For
we need to know
women or something. Like, why was he getting bullied?
Yeah, it didn't say. He just said, "This is my high school bully. I gave him $50, and that's my revenge." And I'm like, Jesus Christ, you suck at revenge.
That's terrible fucking revenge. The good revenges are. I've seen some of. It's maybe called nuclear revenge or something. There's a bunch of subreddits, but anyway, they ruin people's lives. Like you're fired from your job. You're a sex offender now. Your parents know. And guess what? Like the reason your wife was being weird yesterday, she moved out. She's in Tucson, Arizona now because I told her. Like I say, like stuff like that. Like just okay, you're done. Nuclear.
What kind of revenge? Okay, so this is like people lying, fantasizing online.
I mean, sometimes it seems real. I mean, who's to say? Who's to say, Taylor, without proof or evidences?
Yeah, I always assume those stories on Redditor.
What do you have here, Woody?
So this guy did a write-up of what happened to GameStop today. Let me read it. It's about a minute and a half, but all right. I'm glad this place is quieted down enough for some actual DD written by a monkey with a keyboard and Adderall. DD? Anyone? I don't know.
I have no idea.
All right. I am that monkey. Here it is, play-by-play. Yesterday, new call option strikes were added all the way up to $570. Do I have to go over gamma squeezes again? Really? We've been over this. When deep out of the money call options start being gobbled up and the price starts moving towards being in the money, the call writers have to hedge their risk of having their sold calls exercised, typically by buying stock. This creates upward pressure on the market, and we've been seeing these movements all week. So people have these rights to buy stock at 570, and as they start being like something people might execute on because the stock's approaching that price, they need to buy shares so that they can cover it. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to buy this at 570. It hits that. And they're like, fuck, well, we need shares on hand to make sure that you can have them. Yesterday after market, you saw the coordinated effort to drive down the price and spook retail investors into a mass sell-off. It didn't work. I think that coordinated effort is probably with regards to like TV shows and stuff. Last night, Robinhood sent out a message to users. You could no longer enter into new options. You could exercise them if you had the collateral, money in the account. Very interesting to see the first sign of pants shitting fear. You couldn't buy new options, which means that you couldn't buy options because they didn't want to be forced into a position of having to buy stock to cover your options to buy that stock. Today, the market opened strong. So strong, we were looking at a self-perpetuating gamma squeeze all the way up past 570.
Real quick, is gamma squeeze the same squeeze you explained earlier? Gamma?
I think so, but I'm not positive. Okay. At 9:58 a.m., the stock had reached 468 in a parabolic move. 2 minutes earlier, at 9:56, Robinhood tweeted that they were not allowing users to buy GME stock, but they would allow selling. This has a lot of people upset, right? They were making it so that like they ended demand and only had supply. Mm-hmm. The trend instantly halted. This is the parabolic move to 468 and started the downward collapse before picking up a bit, especially after some retail was allowed back in. Now that we're clear on the facts, understand this. The market ran out of liquidity today, or it was threatening to get close enough that they killed it. What does that mean? It means they ran out of shares and or capital. They wouldn't let you buy new shares because we were burning through all the shares on the market. I saw an unsubstantiated post from a user who said a market sell order executed at 2,600 for him.
What does that mean? Market sell order.
That means that he had. He says if this stock hits 2,600, dump it, and he says it happened for him. Do you get the severity of the situation if that's true? It means that buying was getting to the point where it was just about infinite pressure on the price of shares. It means virtually any ask was getting bid. How do you get infinite upwards pressure? A gamma squeeze triggering the mother of all short squeezes, just like we predicted. The call writers needed shares to hedge. This is a call option, right? I have the right to buy this stock at 560, and they need to have stocks on hand because I already purchased the right to buy it. Retail is still buying more. The short sellers need over 100% of the float back. They add these together. There were more shares needed than existed on the open market. That's what a liquidity crisis is. Listen to this, and then it's a link to an audio file. Remarkable interview of the chairman of Interactive Brokers admits that they didn't have the capital to pay out the winners, us. So they took their ball and they went home. Do you grasp how insane it is that he said they needed to shut down buy orders to protect the market? Hello? He's not talking about the market for GME shares. He's talking about the entire market, the New York Stock Exchange, NASDAQ, all that. Remember the movie Snowpiercer? Do you remember the scene when the lower class people realize the soldiers who oppose them have no bullets? It kickstarts a full-blown rebellion. They have no bullets. It's the exact same in this market. No capital, no shares, infinite losses. Too long didn't read. Would you skip to the bottom to say, do I get my tendies now? Tendies are chicken tenders or gains. The answer is this. They need your shares. Do you get that? Hold. Just like the guy in the movie where they scream, they're out of bullets and create a stampede. That's how we win.
He brings it up twice.
They need your shares so badly that they literally risked prison time to get them. They tried robbing you, and I'm not even exaggerating. They were within 30 seconds of getting wiped out today. That guy, I don't know how much of that is true. That's probably 80% bullshit.
Look at the link that I just sent.
Okay. But
that's really interesting.
This GameStop.
A lot of it's just going right over my head, but I'm trying to track with it. You've done a great job explaining it.
Thank you.
I'm crying. I just became a billionaire. I don't know where else to share it. I bought 2,000 Bitcoin at $1 back in the day and then sold all this year to have 40 million. Then in the summer, I bought 40 million worth of GameStop stock. And yesterday, I sold about 8 million shares of GameStop at 144. I'm worth 1.1 billion now. It just came through now to my bank. I'm sorry, females. I don't want rack chasers. I'm not going to become Mr. Available all of a sudden now that you got your dollar signs in your eyes. You could have had me before you called me a freak. Well, look at me now. I'm a billionaire. I'm going to find a female who cares about me for who I am and not because I'm a billionaire.
All right. First of all, good luck with that. Second, this is not true. It can't be.
Of course not. But I choose to believe this is like a Santa-like story. I believe in this.
I have an easier time believing all the relationship advices than this one.
Although he does have a picture of his bank account at the bottom, but I also don't believe.
Yes. There it is. It's 800 million pounds, which I presume is a billion.
Oh, well, then he's got a ways to go in billions of pounds.
Well, he's $1 billion, though.
Well, how do billionaires, if you're worth 850 million pounds in England, do they call you a billionaire because they use the US currency as like the billionaire cutoff?
I do think it is in USD.
If you have 1 billion rupees, do you get to call yourself a billionaire?
What?
No, you'd need like 1 trillion rupees. Actually, that'd probably get you way more than $1 billion. How much is a rupee? Is it worthless? How much is a rupee?
I don't know.
Rupee is $2. It's 0.014. So
it's $71,000.
Looking. Am I a billionaire? I think I am.
So a billion rupees is $13 million.
Oh, I did the Indonesian rupiah, which I think is the way to go, because then you only need 71,000 American dollars
to be a billionaire
in Indonesian rupiah.
I did Turkish lira, and it's tougher. I don't think any of us are billionaires in that.
The Iranian rial is the weakest currency of 2020. Probably because of all those sanctions we got on them.
Well, we'll take care of that.
42,000 to $1.
That's a whole lot easier. You need like $2,500 or something.
I remember when we, I think it was the second time we went to Iraq and gave them some freedom. Some of the soldiers invested in their currency and made a lot of money because their currency improved when we went there, and at least temporarily. They were
in Iraq, you mean?
Did I say? I don't know what I said. Yeah, Iraq.
Iran.
Oh, okay, my mistake. I meant Iraq. The second time we invaded them,
yeah,
we apparently propped up their currency until the Civil War.
There was we had a $50 patron that was an Iraqi, and he was talking about like being there during the most recent time we invaded them. He's like, yeah, then you guys came in and invaded us and everything, and I was like, you're welcome, by the way, and he didn't think it was funny.
He wasn't appreciative. No. We spent trillions on that.
We spent trillions and got nothing.
He really said, oh yeah, thank you.
I have a bully story. It's not mine. It's from Reddit. Do you want to hear it?
Oh, okay. All right. I like bullies.
Do this. My bully. I was 8 years old, and my dad and brothers moved across the country. My brother started high school when my dad started the new job. My mom and I stayed back so she could sell the house, and we moved to join them. During this time, my dad asked my uncle to keep an eye on my mom and I. While selling the house, we moved in with my uncle and his family. It was a different area, and I had to go to a different school where I didn't know anyone. A few weeks into the school year, a much larger kid, 2 grades above me, decided that I would be his target for the year. It started small. He would just knock things out of my hand or push me when we crossed paths. He then started stealing things from me. I put up with it because I didn't think I had a choice at the time. I was working up the courage to fight back like my dad told me to, but this kid was huge, and my courage wasn't building fast enough. One day I went to the bathroom during recess, and I ran into him in the bathroom. I knew that out of view of the teachers, it wasn't going to be fun, and as he expected, he pummeled me right up until the bell rang. Unfortunately for him, he left a lot of noticeable marks on my face. I had a fat lip, a shiner, a bloody nose. The teacher noticed this right away and sent me to the office. Once there, I was pissed, and I told the principal everything. He called down the bully. The bully denied doing anything to me, ever. The principal knew he was lying, so he scheduled an appointment with both sets of parents. That night, my mom and uncle went with me, and his parents went with him. Once in there, his parents constantly denied that their kid did anything. They even said that I was bullying him. I was 8, and I could see how ridiculous that was. The principal had another meeting to be at, so he asked that we meet again the next night to resolve this. The bully's father started complaining and saying that if I bully his son again, that he's going to be okay with his son defending himself. He made a point of saying that just because you lose the fight doesn't mean you're not the bully, which I guess is technically true, except in this situation, his son was definitely the bully. Everyone agreed to meet the next night, and we left the school. As we were getting into our cars, I love this, my uncle went over to the bully's father and put his arm around him. He walked him to where I assume he thought he was out of sight, but it wasn't. My uncle beat this guy up really bad. And then as the bully's father was laying on the ground, covered in his own blood, my uncle leaned in and said something. He came back, and everyone remained silent for the rest of the night. The next day, my bully was not in class. That evening, we all went to meet up with the principal, and the bully's father looked like one of those UFC post-fight photos. Lumps and bruises everywhere. The principal asked what happened. My uncle responded by saying that the bully's father was bullying him, and that he defended himself, and that just because he lost the fight doesn't mean that he wasn't the bully. The principal took a moment, looked at the bully's father, and asked, "Is that true?" The bully's father looked at the principal and said, "Yes, sir." He then said his son needed to say something. My bully stood up and began apologizing as he broke into tears. He confessed to everything and said that he will never bully anyone ever again. Then the father apologized to me for not believing the way that he treated me. My uncle looked at the principal and said, "I think we can accept that apology. Is there anything else?" The principal said no. That's how it ends.
I missed the first part of this. Is this in r/shower fantasies?
This is faker than a funeral bitch slap.
Don't you fact check me. Don't you do it. This is true. I choose it.
This is like when I'm standing in the shower and like I think of a comeback and I'm like, well, how about that? And then, yeah, that's how. That's how log away that memory.
Well, the joke stuck. Huh?
You know,
that didn't happen.
They're all-time bestseller.
Just keeps piling up. And then my uncle leaned in and said this. It was just like Rocky IV. I don't know about any of that. I don't know.
You guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I thought my mic was fucking up.
No,
you're good. Yeah, that's like all those sexual stories you'll read on Reddit that I was making fun of a while back, where it's like, today I fucked up by having my pants pulled around my ankles in front of the assembly of all the girls. I was there and I was masturbating, and then my crush came up and grabbed my dick behind the curtain and pulled my pants down, and then the curtain opened and I came all over the front. And it's like, no, you're writing this with one hand, beating off about your fantasy of being humiliated in front of the classroom or something. Like, settle down, dude. Settle down. That would be a really fun hobby to get into. Discovering a lot of like personal story Reddits and just making shit up and seeing how much traction you could get. That'd be a lot of fun. Someone spend a couple months on that and then DM me all of the stories they get up.
Show me your success stories.
Yeah, someone did the work, and then I'll take the credit.
Waste of time. It was so
oh my
perfect.
God, I'm glad you guys started
nice
talking about
ghost shit.
I know we're getting close to the end here, but let me try to find this. Oh my God. This is one we can't show the fans, but we can direct them to. I found a new subreddit. I think it's called Cursed Video.
No. Oh, okay. That doesn't sound too bad.
Yeah, well, you're wrong. Cursed Video is fucked. I'm going to top all time so I can find the video that.
Yeah, there's Cursed a couple things. Oh, now I hate. Thanks. Now I hate this. That's the worst subreddit.
Let's see. Oh, am I not going to be able to find it? That's going to suck.
There'll be more shows.
Cursed Joint. All right. So essentially it's, I'm going to keep scrolling in case I do find it so we can watch it, but I'm going to start. Ooh, that's terrifying to look at. Basically, there's a lot of horrific things on here. It's like, it's a couple British guys, and one of them is offering another one a decent wad of cash, and you don't know for what. Like it's like, let's call it $250, and he's like counting it out. He's like 20, 40, 60, all the way, all the numbers. And the guy's like, all right, let's do it. And the guy who's being paid lies down on the floor, and the man who is paying shits on his chest before you can even prepare yourself for someone shitting on another man's chest randomly. I'm talking about the biggest. It's not liquid, but it's certainly not hard. It comes out like one of those Play-Doh fucking makers. It comes out like 1.5 pounds. I'm not exaggerating. Of Play-Doh ejects from this man's ass in a long, thick turd right on this dude's chest.
I hope you don't find it.
I can't find it, and you can't even react fast enough. But like you can't turn away. This isn't one of those where like sometimes I see people like really bust their ass on a skateboard, and they're about to like slide their palms. That really gives me the heebie-jeebies when somebody gets bad road rash, and I'll look away. There was no time to look away. This man took like a dog food bowl full of shit right to his chest, and they're all laughing it up. And then they all start gagging and running out of the room. And I was just like, what is this new subreddit I found? It's wonderful. And the more I go through it, the more awful it is. Another thing that I found on there, I believe it's a copy pasta about something called the Rake. You probably don't know about that or what that is. I'm just going to link you to this, and if you don't want to be able to sleep well tonight, just read through it.
Okay, I like creepypasta.
Oh, Jesus, even the picture's rough.
The picture
that's one of the good Reddits I like. It's called No Sleep. It's like spooky stories.
I guarantee this is pretty high up there on No Sleep somewhere along the way. But it's go to creepypasta.
I've definitely been on this site before. Yeah, I might
check out
the
Rake story.
Maybe on this. I don't know. Is there spelunking involved?
I scanned it, and essentially there's a few stories involving what's sort of like a Mothman type monster that people have reported over a long period of time. And they all describe it similarly. And there's one story in particular of a woman. Should I read it? It's horrific.
I think it's. Is it too?
No. I'll
Is it multi pages or is this the whole thing?
No, it's not even. It's an excerpt from this. This page is multiple stories. I'm trying to find the one. 3 years ago, I had just returned from a trip from Niagara Falls with my family for the 4th of July. We were all very exhausted after a long day of driving. So my husband and I put the kids right to bed, called it a night. At about 4 a.m., I woke up thinking my husband had gotten up to use the restroom. I used the moment to steal back the sheets, only to wake him in the process. I apologized and told him I thought that he had gotten out of bed. When he turned to face me, he gasped and pulled his feet up from the end of the bed so quickly his knee almost knocked me out of the bed. He then grabbed me and said nothing. After adjusting to the dark for a half second, I was able to see what caused the strange reaction. At the foot of our bed, sitting and facing away from us, there was what appeared to be a naked man, or a large, hairless dog of some sort. Its body position was disturbing and unnatural, as if it had been hit by a car or something. For some reason, I was not instantly frightened by it, but more concerned as to its condition. At this point, I was somewhat under the assumption that we were supposed to help it. My husband was peering over his arm and knee, tucked into the fetal position, occasionally glancing at me before returning to the creature. In a flurry of motion, the creature scrambled around the side of the bed and then crawled quickly in a flailing sort of motion right along the bed until it was less than a foot from my husband's face. The creature was completely silent for about 30 seconds, probably closer to 5. It just seemed like a while. Just looking at my husband, the creature then placed its hand on his knee and ran to the hallway leading to the kids' rooms. I screamed and I ran for the light switch, planning to stop him before he hurt my children. When I got to the hallway, the light from the bedroom was enough to see it, crouching and hunched over about 20 feet away. He turned over and looked directly at me, covered in blood. I flipped the switch to the wall and saw my daughter, Clara. The creature ran down the stairs while my husband and I rushed to help our daughter. She was very badly injured and spoke only once more in her short life. She said, "He is the Rake." My husband drove his car into a lake that night while rushing our daughter to the hospital. They did not survive. Being in a small town, news got around pretty quickly. The police were helpful at first, and the local newspaper took a lot of interest as well. However, the story was never published, and the local television really never followed up either. This goes on for a while, but
it's not too much longer. Finish.
Okay.
Finish it up. Finish it up.
For several months, my son Justin.
I want to do a whole episode where we read spooky pasta.
For several months, my son Justin and I stayed in a hotel near my parents' house. After we decided to return home, I decided to look for answers myself. I eventually located a man in the next town over who had a similar story. We got in contact and began talking about our experiences. He knew of 2 other people in New York who had seen the creature we now referred to as the Rake. It took the 4 of us about 2 solid years of hunting on the internet and writing letters to come up with a small collection of what we believed to be accounts of the Rake. None of them gave any details, history, or follow-up. One journal had an entry involving the creature in its first 3 pages and never mentioned it again. A ship's log explained nothing of the encounter, saying only that they were told to leave by the Rake. That was the last entry in the log. There were, however, many instances where the creature's visits were one of a series of visits with the same person. Multiple people also mentioned being spoken to, my daughter included. This led us to wonder if the Rake had visited any of us before our last encounter. I set up a digital recorder near my bed and I left it running all night, every night, for 2 weeks. I would tediously scan through the sounds of me rolling around in my sleep each day when I woke up. By the end of the second week, I was quite used to the occasional sound of sleep while blurring through the recording at 8 times the normal speed. This still took almost an hour every day. On the first day of the 3rd week, I thought I heard something different. What I found was a shrill voice. It was the Rake. I can't listen to it long enough to even begin to transcribe it. I haven't let anyone listen to it yet. All I know is that I've heard it before, and now I believe that it spoke when it was sitting in front of my husband. I don't remember hearing anything at the time, but for some reason, the voice on the recorder immediately brings me back to that moment. The thoughts that must have gone through my daughter's head make me very upset. I have not seen the Rake since he ruined my life, but I know that he has been in my room while I slept. I know and fear that one night I'll wake up and I'll see him staring at me.
Ooh, spooky. That's a good story. I'm gonna fucking read more creepypasta. I'm in the mood to be spooked.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. I didn't care for that.
No, I like that.
Yeah. I only scanned it the first time through. I didn't stop because I didn't think it was entertaining. I was just done.
I have a new topic that I'm interested in.
Sure.
All right. It's about a 90-second read. My reaction to it was different than the comments. I'm curious as where you go. Am I the asshole for not outing my dad, who I found at a gay hookup site? When I was in college, I found out my dad was active on a gay hookup site. I've been able to log into his account and confirm that it's him. He chats with other older guys and occasionally meets up with them. I've never told my mom or my siblings. I'm the only one who knows. It's been over 10 years since I find out he's been active on this site all this time. At first, I was shocked and angry. Now I feel sorry for him, and I just want him to be happy and safe. But I also want my mom to be happy and safe, and part of me thinks she deserves to know. If I told anyone, I think it would destroy his marriage of 30 plus years and his relationship with my siblings. My extremely religious mom would be devastated. My family may even get mad at me for knowing and not saying anything all this time. I've never confronted him about it. He and I don't have the closest relationship, and we're not very communicative or expressive. I can't even imagine what his reactions would be if he knew that I knew. I myself am gay. Yes, my family knows, but I wouldn't have wanted someone else to out me. If I were in the closet, but on a hookup site, I wouldn't want anyone telling me that they had discovered my secret. He's getting much older, and I fear may not have many years left. It might be something I regret not discussing with him. It might make him happy to know that I understand this is part of him and I don't judge him for it. But I keep thinking it's not my life, it's not my marriage, it's not my decision to make, and that's why I've left it all alone for these years, just to keep the family together. This might be something I take to my grave. On the other hand, part of me feels it's unfair to my mom. She deserves to know, even though it might uproot her entire life. Am I the asshole for not outing him?
No, don't out your dad, dude. What the fuck are you thinking? You don't fucking rat your dad out for like the most private, personal thing he's got going on. You shouldn't be judging him for his personal thing. That like if there were a God, then it's up to God to judge your dad. All right, like it's not your place at all. Your mom may know. It's possible that your mom knows.
Or suspect.
Or suspect, and sort of a willful ignorance type scenario. But it's definitely not your place to be. Is this a message to us, or was this on Reddit?
It was a Reddit "Am I the asshole?" post.
Okay, I don't need to speak directly to him. No, I wouldn't. He should not out his dad.
He shouldn't outright out him, but he should definitely let his dad know, like, that he knows about it. Because that might, if it's not because you have to think about his mom as well. If he's going out having promiscuous sex with lots of men, his mom deserves to know. Like, he wants to keep her safe and everything as well. So he should probably tell his dad, hey, still love you, Dad, but I know what you've been doing for a while. I really think you should tell Mom. And then guaranteed the fear of you even if you don't threaten him or anything, you don't say, I'm going to tell her if you don't do this. Like, he's going to end up coming clean, I would imagine.
This is the premise of so many incest pornos where, like, the son catches the stepmother, like, up to no good. And he's like, might have to tell Dad about that little, I saw your profile.
Blackmail.
Yeah,
but this one is he finds out his dad is getting ass rammed by randos online,
and she's like, I
not
can't
nearly
believe
as
I'm
sexy.
doing this. Is this enough?
Taylor,
Is
don't
that
judge
enough?
what's sexy and what's not. I'll decide for myself. No, so
how cute is your dad?
When I first read this, I thought, no, you can't possibly out him, right? He's a gay man who's sort of suffered a lifetime, was my thought, right? He's been lying to himself. He's been lying to the world. He's maybe he isn't out to himself completely, just does this. I don't know. So I thought you shouldn't out him. And then I realized, like, oh, I have a completely different reaction than I would if he was a straight man, just like fucking women all the time on the side. And it was like, so now it left me confused, and there's not an obvious answer. When Kyle laid out his thought process, I understood where he came from made sense to me, right? You don't out your dad, don't do this and that. And then the other side of it, like, yeah, you don't let your dad cheat, sleep around on your mom. That makes a certain sense to me too. Baffling.
But you can't step into that in your parents' like world though. Like what if the dad comes back with him? He's like, your mom. Not only does your mom know, she loves it. We've been doing. I'm not even sure who your real daddy is because I was docking with a couple of dock workers, and we just blasted all over your mother, and it wasn't her ass, but a lot of leaked down, and here you are today. You're like, God knows what kind of bag of like weird worms you're going to open up if you start talking to your dad about his secret gay sex life.
This guy's gay too. He'd be like, oh, you think that's cool? Check out my weekend.
Ah, a little felching, huh, Dad?
This is what you do. Come out to your dad as gay, even though you're not gay, and bamboozle him into empathizing with you. And then you go, aha, I knew the whole time. I'm not going to tell Mom, but you should consider it.
Well, he already has come out to his dad as gay because he is gay.
Oh.
We've ruined your plan.
All right. Well, my plan's not as good as I thought it was initially.
No, it was not.
But like, think about it in the same way. Like, imagine this is Plenty of Fish, and it's like a straight dating website, and he's fucking women. Would you still say, it's not my place to say anything to my dad? Like, no. If that were the case, I think we'd all be like, okay,
not all of
I'm
us.
not going to tell Mom, or some of us would say,
Cal would be like,
Mom,
dude, these chicks on the side are way hotter than Mom. Dad,
Like, if you're embroiled in something like that, I feel like the person needs to have it brought up to them and not the person they're directly wronging, like their spouse. So they at least have the opportunity to come clean on their own volition.
Kyle might come through in this one. What if a couple was engaged and you found out one of them was like, cheating on the other in a wild way? I would be like, let's prevent this problem that you're clearly walking into.
Now,
they deserve
in this
to
scenario
know.
Is my end goal to break them up so I can slide in.
Your end goal is
with
to
your
be
own
a good
dad?
person.
No, it's not.
What if you pick up Lamar's phone and he's got Plenty of Fish set to some older fellas?
I don't think that's the case because, like, I signed him up for most of the dating sites he's on, and but
he's just got to learn how to change one setting.
Well, I've seen the people who show up, the ladies who show up in a hypothetically.
You've seen what he wants you to see.
He's not that great with technology. I don't think he can hide, I don't think he could hide anything really, on purpose. I just feel like it's weird getting involved with your parents' like dirty laundry, and like maybe that's for them to handle their own way. It's a real awkward situation. I get that. Like maybe you mention it to him in private, and you like. I think the best argument for talking to him is protecting your mother from potential STDs. You know,
definitely.
Like that's definitely the strongest argument for intervening, and maybe just voice that opinion to your dad. But then he's going to come back with some dirty details that you didn't want to know. He's going to be like, oh, well, I only jerk them off with my feet. So problem solved.
Oh, thank
That's
God,
not
Dad.
gay.
I was worried for a minute.
By the way, it's your mother's idea, bitch.
My mother's
See,
extremely religious. Probably not likely.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's even more likely.
That is a
Maybe
fair
that's-
point, right? Like, who's more likely to be gay than like a Republican trying to push through anti-gay legislation?
I need to know if she's Catholic or not, because that changes things completely.
I never know how true that is because I hate spiders, but I don't want to fuck them. You know, like
Just thought
some
about
of these
fucking a big
Catholics
spider.
who really dislike gay people must just dislike them.
Right up that thready spinneret hole that they got back there that like does this.
Yeah, I guarantee if we go on that one weird dragon dildo site, we can find a spider pussy to fuck.
I've been on there, looked for them. They don't exist. But
Damn. Well, it's a burgeoning market.
They're
So-
missing out.
I every now and then something will pop up on relationship advice, and then I read the comments to see just how horrible the people of Reddit are and how like different their opinions are than mine. I saw one the other day. She's like a 26-year-old female. Her boyfriend's 35 male. I guess they were having a big fight, and she finally went to bed. Woke up the next day. They were all good again, and he's like, I should drug you more often. And she was like, what? He's like, yeah, I put a Benadryl in your drink last night. She's like, what should I do? And before I look at the comments, I really wrap my head around this. All right.
Was she congested?
All right. Probably shouldn't have put a
That's what the fight was about.
in her drink. All right. But how big of a deal is this? Well, it's Benadryl. All right. It's an over-the-counter allergy medication. He didn't drug her in the traditional sense. This is not a Bill Cosby type scenario. And a Benadryl is about as mild as it gets. Like we give those to dogs when like 4th of July, Kitty gave her dogs Benadryl, and the dogs were laying there like, like fucking stoned out of their minds. It was hilarious. I'm thinking like in my head, I'm thinking, no big deal. I don't think I would do it to my girlfriend, but I don't think I've ever I've never done anything.
If you're
like
the
that.
kind of sinister person that's going to drug someone to fuck with them, Benadryl would not be your go-to.
Well, he
You would
did
go
it
with something
so
much
she'd
harder.
go to sleep and they wouldn't fucking fight anymore. Like that's what he's like that's why he did it. He was like tired of the big fight they were having, and he was like, Benadryl, bitch, and like put her to sleep. The comments were like, I'm so afraid for you. Call the police now.
It is evil in a hilarious way.
Well, it also shows how much of a wuss he is, because the idea that instead of just
You should have knocked her out.
instead of just dealing with the moment and just like letting her argue herself out, like he couldn't face that. He just was like, I'm gonna find another way. Like in that way, it's not even just about like whether or not the Benadryl is too much. Like my dog takes Benadryl every day because he's very itchy. Like it's not a damaging thing, but it is also, it shows how much of an idiot and a dick he is.
I bet he loves scratches.
Dude, easy way to deal with that is how about you just pop a bunch of Benadryl yourself, and then you can pass it out.
He had shit he wanted to do.
Meth.
Look,
Well, meth would not help you with that.
Don't do meth.
Taylor, this level is gonna finish itself, okay? Can't just go to sleep.
Could have given her a pot brownie. I imagine that'd make her a little more compliant, maybe a little chill.
Well, apparently it's like they start the people of Reddit start like linking her all these laws. They're like, he's committed a class 2 felony. Looks like your boyfriend's going to the lockdown. And just like run. Everybody. I couldn't, like, one guy in the middle. It wasn't old enough for comment voting to be enabled yet. But this one guy was like, gotta admit, funny as fuck. But
you found my alt.
I was like, Taylor? But everybody else is just like, this is dangerous. This is a red flag. Who knows how he's gonna drug you again. He did it once, he'll do it again. Like because he like popped a Benadryl in her fucking beer. Now he's Bill Cosby and he's gonna be drugging her all the time for fun. Like to me, it just seems so innocent.
He could have also, if they're having a big fight, he could have also just been like, "Hey, can I get you some ice cream?" or like something like that.
But also, like, general rule of thumb, you shouldn't give people drugs that they don't know they're taking. How about that? How about you don't dose people with shit?
Look, I agree with you.
Then I'll never try new things, Taylor.
I would not do that, but like, well, I think it's okay to drug. For some reason, I feel like it's kind of okay to drug people with weed if they're already weed users. Like, I wouldn't do that to Woody. Like that would be
but if I was
up.
Quebble Cop,
yes. Oh, I'd absolutely drug Quebble Cop. Absolutely. I would probably drug Taylor. You know, like because I'd drug Taylor. And but you know, if someone doesn't smoke or they've never done edibles, like, that'd be real fucked up to drug them with that shit. I would much rather
this
have
woman was a chronic Benadryl user. So
Benadryl's so like vanilla though. Like we give it to children and dogs. Like I just feel like it made her a little drowsy and she went to bed. It's not like anything bad happened or would have happened. She's with her boyfriend.
It's the idea of like giving someone. I don't even like not knowing what's in my food. You know, I don't even like the idea. Like, I don't like lobster. I just don't enjoy. I find it bland. And like, if someone like secretly gave me lobster, I would just be like, why didn't you just fucking tell me there was lobster in it? You know, like I think it just shows that person to be conniving, shitty. Like, I'm not talking he should be arrested. I'm talking about that he's an idiot
too. I feel like there's something.
I'm mixed.
I need to know about more about the relationship, right? I saw one similar to that, Kyle, but the guy slipped his girlfriend a drink, like maybe he put vodka in her soda or something like that.
Yeah,
right.
I saw that one too.
The subreddit was like wild with how crazy that was. But like, if Jackie did that to me, like, how long have we been together? Like 25 years now? Like, it's not a deal breaker. It's like, honey, I didn't want that. You know, like, let me choose this. But there's enough deposits in the emotional bank account.
That is definitely, it's definitely different than someone who you just meet dosing them or
we're talking about
something in there that
boyfriends and girlfriends. Like, if we've been together for a fucking year and me popping a Benadryl in your drink is not only grounds for a breakup, but grounds for calling law enforcement. I mean, it's not like I buried your beans. We don't have to call cops.
You're absolutely right. It's not nearly as severe as that, but also, who the fuck gives people Benadryl without their notice? That's
I
weird.
bet it was one of those that dissolved under your tongue
weird.
too. Wonder how many would take to
also,
hypothetically put a woman out.
Taste all right. I'm good with those ones.
Here's how I know they're not in a healthy relationship. She's asking for relationship advice on Reddit.
Yeah,
that alone.
You know how dangerous it is.
What?
I was saying, do you know how dangerous it is to ask for advice on the Reddit relationship forum? Because I'm out there with an alt giving terrible advice, and it often gets upvoted highly. Terrible advice. Where it's like, it's time to end it all. Call in.
They break up over everything.
That's exactly right. You need to finish. That seems to be the Reddit response most of the time, from what I can tell, is that if it's some woman posting being like, hey, my boyfriend gave me a Benadryl and I didn't like it, they'll be like, he's an abuser and a rapist, and you should call the police. And also, my DMs are open.
Yeah,
and it's like,
absolutely,
dude, this is really lame.
Yeah,
that's what it seems to be.
Yeah, here's the whole. Here, I just found it actually, like 41,000 upvotes, and like I'm just gonna go through some of the comments.
The Benadryl one or the alcohol?
Yeah, the Benadryl one. This is absolutely Terrifying behavior. I noticed he was also trying to get you away from your mom's house, trying to keep you away from a support network, maybe, question mark? Please get out as quickly and safely as you can. A guy who thinks this kind of behavior is no big deal, well, that's just really unpredictable. Don't expect him to behave rationally. What? Like pop chip.
Have you ever like
it's allergy medication.
You ever like you come out of okay, Woody, you wear glasses.
Whatever you
So if you catch yourself in the mirror without glasses and you're fuzzy, right?
Okay.
You fill in the blanks. However it is your mind wants to fill in the blanks.
Handsome.
To make this relatable, Kyle, if you are a little drunk and you see someone at a bar, you might think that they're cuter because you're a little drunk.
Mm-hmm.
Internet is full of people who see these stories and then they just fill in those fucking blanks however they want to fill in those blanks, and they write the rest of the story. And as far as they're concerned on this story, he has a horrible relationship with her mother and he was trying to prevent her from being part of that network, and the guy who gave me the sword is killing himself, and they're just inventing stories in order to entertain themselves, which is why they're on the sub in the first place.
Leave him.
And you can't tell them any different. Anytime I ever write a story about something happens that like someone was an asshole to me out in the street, whatever it is, they just make up reasons why it's okay that they were, and they give that guy the benefit of the doubt, even though I'm the person that they're talking to. Like, it's that they're filling in those fuzzy fucking blanks, and that's how the story happened, according to their mind. You can't tell them otherwise.
It's just one after another. Leave him. This is a big deal. Now he knows how to keep you at bay. He may exploit it for his gain. Seriously, you need to go now. Drugging someone is wrong. He could have seriously harmed you. This dude needs to be dumped as soon as possible. And you need to talk to a doctor and possibly the police. You are underreacting if you are still with him. She lives with the man.
My God, dude. Reddit is so fucking retarded. Like, see, the kind of comment I would leave on an alt under that would be, hey,
you really do this? I can't tell anymore.
Yeah, I do. I literally do. It's funny to me. But I'll go in there and I'll be like, hey, quick little fact. Did you know the KGB used Benadryl-like substances in order to inculcate people into the system and manipulate them? Yeah, turns out that's true. Like, I write in that like retarded like Reddit dialect. It's like a lot of ellipses and like stupid, like, oh, you don't believe that? Yeah, well, it's true. You write stuff like that, and then you will get people like upvoting you, and it's like, I just made this shit up whole cloth, and people are buying into it. That's one of the most fun things about Reddit. Just making shit up and then seeing a bunch of other people think you know.
Well, the guy didn't even know how much it was dangerous, because how does he know how much farm equipment she has to operate that night? You know, like, you can't be drowsy for something like that. That could be really dangerous. Maybe she had a late night shift on the assembly line, and then maybe she's installing a tin roof. Like, there are all these things that you need to be aware for, and he's ruined all of that with the Benadryl. I do think that it's shitty and stupid to give someone any sort of drugs without their knowledge. But it's also, they don't have a healthy relationship to begin with. And this does not matter in their unhealthy relationship, because all the other shit does.
Well, I'm just saying, if you turn to Reddit for relationship advice, end your relationship. Because it is full of bitter people who will tell you to avoid any sort of reconciliation whatsoever.
If your significant
is.
other, if you find out that your significant other has turned to Reddit for relationship advice, end the relationship.
If my girlfriend ever tells me she has a Reddit account, it's over. It's done. No, my girlfriend is tremendously offline, and I fucking love that about her. She'll be like, hey, did you see this funny meme? And it'll be a meme from like 6 months ago, and it's so endearing because I'm like, oh, she really doesn't know what's going on online. That's great.
Whenever
I love that.
sends, like my mom is the same way. Like her memes are old. But it's great that I have all the classics memorized. So today I sent her that thing about the biggers. You remember this?
Yes.
It's where It's where this midget is talking about how they hate tall people and how they call them biggers. And and there's this part where I'm gonna find it.
Jesus.
Yeah, you got to find it. That's a very funny clip where all the midgets talking about hating biggers.
Love picturing Taylor coming home one day, seeing his girlfriend like just uploading a post of a cute dog on r/aw. He's like, "This is over. Can't deal with you.
This is done." No, I would give her a pass on r/aw because I guarantee that's the only thing she would use it for if she was a Reddit user. But
she's on Rare Puppers. That's it. It's too much.
Yeah, that fucking Zoomies thing. Now she's becoming an internet person.
Yeah,
she is a white girl in 2020, so she's all about puppers and doggerinos and all that shit. Oh, this is a rare pupper, and everybody's like, "Oh, what a fluffy boy! What a big boy!"
She starts typing,
"What a chunker!"
It's over.
What a chunker! I think she literally said that the other day. Yeah, I gotta shut that shit. She'll be like, "Hey, I went to your." No, she listens to the show all the time, and so there are times where I'll be streaming or whatever, and I'll come out into the kitchen to grab a drink, go to the bathroom, and I'll hear like myself talking about something retarded, and be like, "Can you keep my own voice out of the house, please? Like, I don't want to hear my own."
Dude,
voice. I hate it.
Every now and then
your
I hear
hotel internet's doing a great job of that.
A story to read.
I do. I found it on Reddit and it made me laugh, or I don't know, it was funny enough to me that I saved it for the show. Do you guys want to try something different?
I'm up for anything.
I'm currently 19. I'm female. I've always had issues getting to sleep, and to this day, I still haven't had it sorted out. So when I was 11, my dad took me to a sleep clinic to run some tests. To a sleep clinic to have some tests run on me for a few weeks and hopefully get some answers. Well, at the clinic, they gave me a black wristband and a little black device and told me I had to wear it on my wrist for the next 2 weeks. I really don't remember them even telling me about it, and I was young and stupid, so I didn't guess or care what this bracelet did. So at this age, I was a pretty frequent masturbator. I know it's pretty young to start off, but I probably did it every second or third night just before I went to sleep. And I continued this nighttime tradition as usual, even with this weird.
How old is she?
She's 11, but she's 19 as she tells the story. I continued this nighttime tradition as usual, even with this black thing on my wrist. 2 weeks have gone by, and the wristband has sent back to the clinic my appointment there to discuss the sleeping patterns for the next few days. I arrive at the sleep clinic with my dad, and we're brought into a room with a large screen inside displaying a graph. And we sit down, and the sleep pathologist points to the graph and says, "This graph displays your sleeping patterns over the last 2 weeks. Pretty cool, huh? Well, we measured your heart rate to see when you entered each stage of sleep and when and for how long. So I'm looking at this graph, and for those of you putting 2 to 2 together by now, buckle in. I look at the heart rate fluctuations throughout the day and throughout the night, and it is so obvious the spike in my heart rate around 9:30 p.m. or whenever the fuck I went to bed back then is so my orgasms on a fucking graph on a screen, and my dad and the sleep pathologist were looking at it like, how interesting. Yeah, wow. So in the awkward cold bright room, I'm sitting there, and I can feel my face go red hot, and I start sweating a bit, and the pathologist says, at nighttime, before you go to sleep, do you ever hear strange noises outside, like rustling or even people? Do you get scared? And I stutter, a little, I guess, yeah. He explains to me that he thinks I might be becoming alert at night fairly often because I get frightened by noises happening outside. And he points to my orgasms in graph form and explains that here I become alert. And he tells me in the future
Can you describe the animal? Yeah, it sounds like shlick, 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 shlick. It sounds like it's a small frog wading through a shallow pond.
He tells me in the future I shouldn't worry about scary noises or things that I hear because I'm safe. So that was the most fucking awkward experience of my childhood, and is so clear in my head that I hope to God that my dad bought into the possibility that I was having orgasm-level heart spikes due to some fucking koala wrestling in a tree outside. Too long.
Is that what he imagined?
She's Australian? This is even better.
The koala is the first time they mentioned that. My heart rate was measured over too long didn't read. Heart measured over 2 weeks of near daily orgasms displayed on a graph in front of my dad and a professional to point them out and discuss them as me possibly being frightened, which disturbed my sleep. So
she's having like world-shattering orgasms, just like oh, it's a squirrel! Oh no! Like hit at the window! Like that. Man, that is so embarrassing. I feel bad for her, but I feel like both of them knew something was up, and that they gave that must be animals outside your window excuse to kind of let her have an easy out.
Did they give her the
adults
out?
know what you're doing?
Yeah.
They knew. They knew.
Especially with the time. Like they had the time plotted out. Like I think Dad knows. I suspect they knew. They gave her the out.
You afraid of squirrels, or are you just flicking your bean for 6 to 12 minutes every third night, huh? You know, which one?
All right, let's do a couple more of these. These are really fun.
Okay.
To be fair, though, the only one that was even like remotely online was the first one.
I've got one that I think is a more difficult call.
Okay.
I went out with am I an asshole because I went off on a guy that kept poking me with a pool stick? So I went out with my friend to a bar and they were playing pool. One of the guys kept trying to show off and predict where the ball was trying to go in next, and of course failing. So I laughed. I mean, it's funny because he was so sure about himself, yet applied no science at all to the game. I'll start over. So am I an asshole because I went off on a guy that kept poking me with a pool stick? I went out with my friend to a bar and people were playing pool. One of the guys kept trying to show off and predict where the ball was going next, and of course failing. So I laughed. I mean, it was funny because he was so sure about himself, yet applied no science to the game. Later, he started to poke me with the other end of the pool stick. The first 3 times I played it off as if I was in his way, but the third time I told him to fuck off and not to touch me again. Now I don't know how I feel. I feel like an asshole. I'm sorry, I don't know why, but now I feel like I was an asshole.
Blurry about this at all. I think that this guy is not an asshole in the least. Someone's poking you and you tell him to fuck off.
But it didn't start with that. It started with him laughing at a guy.
It doesn't matter.
for
The
being
other
wrong.
guy should have handled it differently. He shouldn't have laughed at the guy. That's a clear way to you shouldn't have been surprised that he started poking you because you laughed at him. Like I would not have laughed at him unless I was expecting some serious, especially with something like that. Like I think you're greatly underestimating how like laughing at somebody's pool game might just get you stabbed with a pool stick or beaten severely at the wrong place.
Something about pool, it's almost like this test of athleticism and an IQ test combined. That it's a little worse to be laughed at.
Some guys take it seriously.
Yeah, if I'm playing ping pong, not me, but like a lot of people play ping pong, they're just like, yeah, my sense of self-worth is not wrapped up in ping pong at all. Even though they're look at this, it's all going wacky.
That's weird.
Yeah, even though maybe it's another timer thing because the call's so long.
Maybe.
But anyway, even though you're not a hardcore pool player, people don't want to suck at that game for some reason. Like they don't just easily accept it. Pool's a tough one. Everyone likes to think they can walk up to a
It's
pool
like
table.
poker too, though.
It's like that, but it's also the fact that this guy. How about if you're not good enough to just be calling pockets like an arrogant, pompous prick, then don't do it. And if you do it poorly, expect to get laughed at a little bit. Sorry, that's the way guys play sports.
And then if you can't take a little bit of banter, like you're like, what do you expect? Like that's the whole.
Yeah, I is this guy. You can't retort a bit of banter, not even banter, just a laugh.
Yeah.
Like how to predict more accurately? Are you that bad that you can't fall back on your skill at the game that you apparently care a lot about? This guy's a dick for poking him with the pool stick, and yeah, you should expect it kind of in a game like pool where there are douchebags playing it at a bar when they're drunk and a little more bold than they otherwise would be. But this guy's not an asshole at all. The other dude's an asshole.
Yeah, the guy who poked him with the stick's definitely a jerk.
Yep. This is like the most clear-cut case yet. So I don't know what you're talking about, Woody. What the fuck, dude?
I felt like the guy who poked him with the stick was being provoked. He took it to time by going 4 times, perhaps.
He was being provoked, but I feel like I don't know. I feel like he shouldn't have laughed at him. However, I feel like he can't be laying hands on somebody.
There's like
he repeatedly laughed at him as well.
I mean, I feel like everything could have been. I feel like this is not like a huge case of either one's being a gigantic dick. Like they're just both like handling this situation poorly.
And like how hard is he poking him? You know?
Yeah, if he's like jabbing him, and he's like, "Ah, what the fuck?" You know, that's different than like, like like a little jab. And you're like, "Oh, dude, sorry."
I put it in my head that he was maybe poking him while taking the shot.
That's what I thought. Like jamming it back and be like, boom, and then he's like, "Oh, dude."
That's weird.
But like,
what a jerk.
Like I in my head, it was a really gentle kind of like like a prodding poke, Gucci,
Oh,
Gucci,
poke.
Gucci poke.
Yeah, like get the fuck out of my way.
Know the person. Don't touch them. Don't fuck with them. Like it's rude. That
Now,
guy.
are we sure they weren't the friends that went together?
If they were, then your friend's kind of a prick and he takes himself too seriously. In which case he's
Or
not.
you suck
Friends should
being
you
friends.
live with your friends and at your friends sometimes.
Yeah. This one, like, I feel like this could be easily mitigated. Don't laugh at the dude. Also, don't have a friend and or stranger like poke at you for no reason. It's just like both of you could have handled that better. The end.
Yeah.
We used to go to Am I the Asshole all the time on PKA for funny shit. And so I've got a good one, and it's actually rated very high in this subreddit. And I'm going to get your guys' perspective. I'm going to read this passage now. It's not too long.
Wait, Taylor, wait.
Yeah.
Can we delegate speaking to each person so nobody jumps the gun so we can get the true unadulterated opinion of each person?
Yeah, I
You
don't
see where
fucking
I'm
care.
going at?
Sure, we can do that. I'll read it.
Fuck you, bro. What the fuck?
I'm a
I'll
little
read it, and then
confused on this
I'm
plan.
gonna, well,
Shut up!
No.
Read
The way it goes
Sorry.
is I'm gonna read it, and then it will initially pass to Tucker. He'll get his initial response. No one interrupt him, please. I'm like a Senate person now asking that. So here we go. Would I be the asshole if I ask my pregnant wife to move out because she and her best friend decided to test, in quotes, my loyalty? My wife is pregnant with our daughter. Initially, we were very happy and excited about it, but then she started acting like a nut job. She got angry and irritated for small things, insults me when she doesn't like the food I make, starts acting insecure, and accuses me of losing attraction for her. For example, she wanted to eat chicken sandwiches for dinner last week. Well, I made chicken sandwiches. So she eats all the sandwiches, leaves me nothing, and told me that they tasted like shit. This bitch, so far,
How many sandwiches?
this bitch is hilarious. So far, I wasn't pissed because she left me nothing. But if she didn't like them, why did she have to eat everything? When I asked her this, she told me that she was not hungry. Okay, fine. She does this every time. Eats
She's pregnant, right?
everything- Yeah.
Yeah.
She does this every time. Eats everything I make and calls it shit. I don't argue with her because I work for more than 80 hours a week and I really want to have some peace when I'm home. So yesterday, a random girl starts flirting with me at the gym and asked me if I wanted to meet up with her for some drinks. I rejected her and told her that I was married. And when I got home, my wife started to hug me and apologize. When I asked her what happened, she told me that her best friend suggested a test for my loyalty. So they asked a mutual friend to flirt with me and ask me out. And I passed. Yay. I'm really pissed. I'm done with her antics. Would I be the asshole if I asked her to move out?
Yeah.
No, move that bitch out. Move that.
No, why would you? No, shut
Move
the fuck
that
up.
fat cow out. Move her big pepperoni nipples
You
down the
already passed
fucking
the
road.
last
Move them down the road.
Another shot.
Move
Another
down the
shot
road.
for everyone. I'm calling
Oh no!
Move them big, mouthy,
I am calling
stretched
Taylor,
back,
you sadistic fuck.
engorged,
I'm calling this
veiny,
one in.
titties
Shot for
down the
everyone.
road, eating all your food and shitting on it, motherfucker. You're cooking, cleaning, bringing home the bacon and putting it in the pan. Fuck that whore. Fuck her. Fuck her.
Kyle, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, what's up, buddy?
Hold on.
No,
How's
we're
that
calling
pizza,
in the
by the
shot.
way? You look
We're
like you're
calling
enjoying
in-
it.
I'm calling in the shot for that one.
Pizza, by the
What
way.
kind of pizza is it?
I have two. I don't know what the other one is, but this is a
All right, so we've moved
It looks
past
fucking
my thing.
tasty.
No,
I'm
Taylor, we're
jealous.
on your thing. I think we got
Christ.
Kyle's answer. Tucker, what's your answer on this woman?
Shot.
I drank.
shot.
Oh my god! If you weren't
I'm
looking, I can't do it
sorry?
again.
Wait. I'm sorry. What was
Oh,
my
I
answer?
spilled
on
some.
what?
That's gross. It's all over me.
Tucker, it's your turn to both drink and
it's on me.
give your answer to
And
Taylor's
give a
question.
response to
To
that,
what?
To am I the asshole?
Yeah, if that guy is the asshole.
Yeah. You already won the battle. Why are you trying to like stoke the flame? You know, like she already accepted you.
I don't understand this at all. What is your
No,
answer?
but like
Listen,
here's
listen.
the
He
fucking thing is that
she already accepted him.
Right.
And she is giving
quantified
these bullshit orchestrated situations to try and trip him up. That is duplicitous, manipulative, debaucherous. It is something that I would never tell my congregation to engage in.
Hey, listen to me.
That is a
listen to me
no
right now
from
here, brother.
Pastor Taylor.
Shut the fuck up. Listen, I would if you were like, hey, I want to stick with her. You already won the battle. Like you already ran the gamut. She's like a ride or die now. You already turned it down, right?
You think that when you indulge a crazy woman's crazy thing, she's gonna stop?
Taylor, I'm saying that.
Taylor, was it your rule to let Tucker go uninterrupted?
Oh wow, that was a rule.
That was a rule. Sorry,
about
man.
15 seconds ago. However,
go for it. Tucker.
I am also going to side with Taylor in saying that this bitch ridiculous. Nobody. This is a bad idea. There's no beneficial thing that's going to come from jumping in feet first into this and saying like, hey, we're going to run this through. However, if you did want to run the gamut, she already accepted you throughout your trials. Like you're good. We got 2 pepperonis out of 5. Like that's like, what else do you want?
I don't know.
Honestly, Kyle, I would give that lady 1 pepperoni out of 5, which I think
she's about to
Dude, Kyle, this pepperoni bit is one of the funniest things you've done on the show, and I am a huge fan of it.
I like that we went from a third to a quarter pepperoni earlier. It started getting
Tyler's top 5 pepperoni bit.
I feel like that when we got to a quarter pepperoni, she started getting hot, and it seemed like a positive rating.
But anyway,
my take on this thing is that pregnancy insanity is temporary insanity, and it's to be tolerated.
You would know.
You would know better than any of us, but I am 1,000,000% positive that Jackie never did anything like this.
She didn't.
When she was pregnant.
You know what she did? She was pretty much disabled. I had to tie her shoes for her. Everything on the ground I had to pick up. This is
drive her all the way to the clinic.
Temporary disabled. You deal with
it. Was she a wheelchair?
No, but she did. She didn't get ordered to have bed rest. Bed rest is like a really specific thing.
I was just very curious.
But she was ordered like low activity.
Once the deed was done,
she was ordered to have some sort of low activity, and I did everything.
Like a cop out, dude. If I was having a child, I would push that shit out without any boundaries.
You would, Tucker. Yeah. You would be the best pregnant dude ever.
Thank you. Oh my God.
Here's another great question from my Twitter account.
I like that I'm Matt.
I knew we were together. I knew it. You and me, brother.
How do you even do that?
You and me, brother.
What do you mean?
You and me, brother. We're fighting this out.
Can't wait to have a child.
I need that ability.
Tucker is a verified 6-foot-tall man, whereas Woody is a mere 5'11" family.
Disgusting.
Disgusting.
It was Tucker, we need to talk.
Disgusting.
That's some good pepperoni.
Man, like this is the first time I'm fucking drunk.
Now,
Now,
not alone.
Where's everybody jumping in? Like I feel fucking drunk right now.
I will say this: I went to the bathroom a minute ago, and I was struck by the urge to lay on the hallway floor carpet, and it was wonderful. And I never found that light fixture so interesting.
Matt, how old are you?
Why am I still Matt? I'm 46 now.
You're always Matt. What?
Let's force Matt upon him at this point. from all directions.
I have a different topic. I don't know if it'll go over well. Have you guys seen the equalattraction subreddit?
I don't know what that is. No.
Oh, it's kind of an interesting concept. So what happens is people post pictures of themselves, and then they find random people of the opposite sex that are of equivalent looks.
That sounds like it could be really condescending and mean, or kind of uplifting.
Does a
all
machine
depending
do
on
this?
if you're good looking or ugly.
No, people do.
People driven.
Like here, okay, I'm gonna grab this first one. Here's this girl. She's pretty. Probably no career in like fashion modeling or whatever, but it's a pretty girl. And then they go and they find the male equivalent of her.
Did you have links for us, or?
I gave you the subreddit link.
The first,
I'm looking at the top
photo
one.
is like Belle from Beauty
the top
and the Beast.
one. So here's Harrison Ford.
I just don't see
this
what
first
some of
one's
these
not a
are.
good example.
No,
Shucks.
the first one, the 19 female.
I picked her because she had 11 comments. Let's
Yeah,
see.
that one wasn't good.
Why
This
don't
sub
you
is
pick top for
interesting.
the month?
Aha. So this one actually kind of works. If you go to the one that's the 26-year-old female, she's blonde hair.
Mhm.
The top link is they gave a guy equivalent. They gave I don't know. I thought it was kind of neat.
I just don't see it. Hell, the dude has blue eyes and she doesn't. I don't see how they look like. This is like the subreddit. This is like our subreddit. Like they don't look.
You
alike.
have it wrong. Your concept of what this is wrong.
No, you're trying to find the male equivalent, right?
No, they're trying to find someone who would be an equivalent like dating match for you, not a carbon copy of you that's the opposite sex.
I think we understood that.
He didn't. No, he's
Well,
like their
then
eyes
this
are
is-
different colors.
Then this is stupid. What's the point? I don't understand. What makes them a match?
The idea is
then
to
they're
see what
both-
kind of women people see you with.
Equivalently ugly.
Thanks, Wings.
The
Yeah.
idea is this: they say, "Oh, well, this chick's a 6. Here's a dude who's a 6. Here's another dude who's a 6."
Ah, I see.
You can't get an accurate. Yet men should be required to post bank account information.
Holy shit!
As well, so you can get
that
more
first
accurate.
picture, go down to poop happens 4 hours ago. That's the name of the bitch. You know.
If you really want to get a good one, just go to top and for the month, sort it that way,
No,
and
no, but like,
you know, 500 comments.
That first picture of her is very, 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 very cherry picked.
Oh, and then this is think of attraction on a scale, not a mirror. The sub is about equal attraction, not lookalikes. Like they explain that. This guy is terrified of the answer. Do you see the chunky guy?
Yeah,
Here,
that was hilarious. Ignore the muffin is the top
Can you
comment.
explain-
It's just this big fat ugly lady with a muffin in her mouth.
Hey, I thought she looked pretty good for him.
Yeah,
He
right.
is
Somebody link me this.
looking
If
like
I'm
he's gonna
him, I'm
I
like,
linked you at
yeah,
Wings.
we should make
destroy
out
a
with
city
that
of
fucker.
Smurfs.
You link me equal attraction.
Yeah, we're just going through on the top
So,
section and
yeah,
going
sort
down.
it by top, and then by month, and you get the top for the month, and then like second or third down is that guy. No.
I'm clicking.
Taylor posed a question.
Oh.
No, it's not Taylor.
Ugh.
We could redo the call over again. See, just
Yeah.
roll the
Yeah, let's do
dice.
that.
All right.
And Wings, allow me to see your camera. For some reason I cannot see you.
I don't think it's.
Allow me to
I
see.
don't think it's one of those type of things, Taylor. I don't think it's like, well, there's no permission for Taylor to see my shit. I'm
Allow
too good
me
looking.
to see your
I can only see Woody and Chiz again.
I can see everybody but Taylor.
I'm
No,
with Wings. Yeah.
Same
Of
boat.
course. Works great until we just gotta see Woody.
Yeah.
And so
I wanna.
It wasn't. Oh yeah, you guys. It's right.
Was-
Everything was
yeah.
fine except you couldn't see me, which had no impact on the show.
Now we need Taylor to chug a beer and his fucking camera's not working.
Yeah.
oh no.
Had herpes.
Dude, I look at some of these dudes and I'm glad I look like the way I do.
Yeah,
Like-
some of these people are just sad to look at.
I can't give it to Wings, but I think this one's interesting. So here she is. She's cute, I guess. It could be thinner, maybe. And then you can see I think that top guy is out of her league. I don't know.
Really? Really?
You know what would be awesome?
I don't know about that.
Let's put Chiz on
Yeah.
there.
You know.
Come on, Chiz.
No, let's not make
Put Chiz on there right now. By the end of the show, we'll see if somebody's put a post up.
It's not.
Put your ass on there.
It's after that we'll go to roast me and have a good rousing time over there too, and some other things to.
If
Shit on
these
ourselves.
motherfuckers want the Pussy Destroyer 69, they could have it.
I thought it was the thick 6. Did you rename your cock?
No, the cock's the thick 6.
So somebody wrote me on Reddit, and because this is a Patreon benefit, I really cut back. 1 in 100. I get a lot of letters all the time, but this one I thought was just good for the show. And so anyway, don't go thinking there's a freeway on the show. This is an exception. Found out my girl is a bit of a Jesus freak. I'd love some advice. I present this to you, the panel. Hey, Woody, I'm a huge fan of PKA, and I love the new places it's going with the survival trips. So anyways, I'm I'm not gonna give his age away, but he's a teenager, wrapping up high school before too long. And I've gotten in a pretty serious relationship, if that's a thing at my age. We've known each other for 3 years, and last June, I got the balls to ask her out. I knew she was Christian, but it didn't really bother me. I'm secular, but not uber anti-religion, so I figured, I like her, it's no biggie. Well, I was wrong. She won't even kiss me. She'll give me a hug, and that's about it. She's one of those sexes for marriage girls. Heck, if I make a joke that's slightly edgy at all, she gets uncomfortable, like a Jared Fogel joke. Or, I'm sorry, a Jared Fogel prison joke.
Great beginning of the relationship material.
Well, June, so he's a couple months in.
Okay.
I don't know what to do. I really like her a lot. She's a great person. She's super attractive. In a way, it's reassuring to know that she has good morals. Not saying Christians are always morals, but this girl's special. Our families have even become friends, and I can really see her being the one. We do everything together and we get along great. But am I just wasting my time and her time? I can't change who I am just to stay with her, and I feel like an asshole for starting this relationship, as I should have been honest with myself, and I'm afraid I'm really going to hurt her. Should I try to change her up and loosen her as a person, or end it? Really appreciate the advice.
He needs to end it.
End it.
2 ways I can see this panning out is, 1, they go to different colleges, and he is resenting himself and coming to resent her because he's not allowed to go out and have fun, and she'll be keeping tabs on him on all the fun thing he wants to do, and he doesn't have any problem with, but she would. And so he'll just be doing that for her sake. And then when they eventually do break up, he'll just have so much regret about it. And well, I rolled both into one, so only one thing. Yeah, that's but yeah, that's what's going to happen. Or, I mean, if they do go to the same school, she's going to keep such close tabs on him. It's not going to be fun for you, dude. You're a couple of months in, and you already have this much hesitation to write into our podcast and ask us about it. Like, you really like her now, and that's fine. But you're going to wish that you had opened your horizons a bit once you get to college. And if you don't, and you end up breaking up, sophomore, junior year, you're going to just look back on all that time that you potentially now think that you wasted. So I say get out while you can, but be friendly about it. Seems like a good girl.
Yep, I agree. That.
Wow. So I disagree. So there's a chance I've got the word asexual in my head, right? And I feel like that gets thrown around a lot.
Like an amoeba? Like an
No, asexual is a term that they use now for people who have no sex drive, who just have no desire to have sex, who have none of that on their own. And there are a lot of Christian girls who want to save themselves for marriage who are kind of cool with doing everything but. Or doing everything but, if you know what.
For those of you on the way to work, Woody's winking.
My bigger concern is not that, she wants to wait for marriage or whatever that is. It's that she'd be happy with a life that only does sex for procreation. And I wouldn't be in a hurry to just like wrap this thing up and call it quits because you're not getting what you want from her. I would just keep an eye out and make sure that, I don't know, that you guys are compatible in the end. Like, I had this as a video idea. What marriage is?
That's risky.
Compatible in the end? How old is this guy again?
16. Yeah, you're right.
Come on, get some pussy.
Yes, Kyle's 100% right.
Look, it doesn't matter if you don't want anyone who's going to work out for you in the end. You're 16. The next 8 years at least is fuck time. It's fuck time. Fuck everything. If she's taking that long, she's wasting your time. Move along. You could have fucked 2 girls in these 2 months you've spent with her. 2. You're 2 behind right now. You're at -2.
You're at a buffet.
You've fallen
and you
behind.
Picked up a crab rangoon from the appetizer section of the buffet.
I love
and you
those.
really like it. But now you've relegated yourself to only crab rangoon. And not even just crab
they're
rangoon,
so
just
rich.
occasional crab rangoon. It's not even occasional. Like
I mean, at
it's
least a
everything
dozen.
but the good part of the rangoon. You're not getting everything you want out of it. And there's a bunch of other things in the buffet. Maybe the orange chicken's just as good and a lot more fun.
A lot of people who've had sex with a lot of different people agree that it kind of makes monogamy a bit harder. That sex loses its barrier and its specialness. It's just like co-masturbating or something. If you follow the fuck buffet advice, that if you do decide to do the marriage route, that you might not be good at it.
Every woman is different, though. It's not like you make it sound like it's like gorging yourself on tons of mashed potatoes. That's what you just described, where you just had so much sex that like now all sex is the same. Where I'm not gorging myself on mashed potatoes. It's different
That's
dishes.
not what I was saying at all.
No?
I was just saying that like once you enter the intimacy, once you break the intimacy barrier with enough people, all of a sudden that barrier gets pretty flimsy and you become not good at monogamy.
I mean, that makes sense. I don't know any research or anything behind it, but I understand what you're saying.
People I've spoken to, and I'm not talking about Kyle at all.
agree
These
with
are
it.
like people on forums and stuff. People I've spoken to on forums and stuff they've agreed on that.
I think a man's
yeah,
for
it's
the
right
most
there on the
part,
internet.
For the most
Woodworking
part, a
forums.
man's level of faithfulness is dependent upon his options. So one could say that it's really that what you actually have here is people who are guys who are capable of having sex with a lot of women are just capable of having sex with a lot of women and will keep doing so. Because I think that like if you're a single guy or in a non-committed relationship, like and there's just readily available women to fuck, like there's no way you'll say no. How has anyone here turned down sex from a woman you found attractive before?
I feel like I could definitely get sex if I wanted to. Like,
of course you
know,
can get the sex,
You have
but
a
could you? It's turning the sex down. That's what we're talking about.
Well, have you, Kyle? I have not.
Have I had the ability, or have I actually turned it
No,
down?
have you actually done it? Because you were saying that you were leading the question in a way that your answer was like, oh, obviously, no, I didn't.
I think I have.
Yes, I have. I have turned down sex to remain monogamous in situations. I have done that. It is an incredibly difficult thing to do, though. It is very difficult because, like, just genetically speaking, like we're made to always want that, and it's usually so fucking hard to get. And then when it's just freely offered, when it's just like, hey, do you want pussy? You know how hard it is to say no?
Yeah, it wasn't that obvious for me.
Oh, no,
but
I'm full. Like,
on more than one situation, I feel like women have flirted with me in like a knee touch or something like that I felt like if I responded in kind, could have cheated. Didn't, obviously.
That's saying something. I feel what you're saying, but I'm talking about...
Yeah, that's a couple
I'm
steps
talking
short.
about, like, in the modern dating scene, in the Tinder era, it would be very common for a woman to say something like, "Hey, do you want to come over and fuck me?" Like those words were like just right out in the open, 100% plain. No games are being played. You want to fuck, and to be able to say no is just a difficult thing to do, I think.
See, I think it's harder to say yes if you're not accustomed to doing that. If you haven't said yes with,
you didn't say that people who cheated on their partners were more likely to cheat. You said that people who had more sexual partners. By that rationale, I could have 24 committed relationships, each of which lasted 3 months each throughout my 20s, and I would then fall right into that same pattern of people who find it difficult.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I'm not saying cheaters are I'm saying, yeah.
Oh, cheaters are cheaters.
Yeah, that maybe so. But if you were to have like, 24, if you're fucking 20 or not 20, but let's say 24 to 34 women through your 20s, then maybe you've broken that intimacy barrier enough that it becomes not much of a barrier anymore.
It's not the intimacy. All right, so I feel like it's in poor taste to throw a number out there, but quite a few women I think I've had sex with in what remains of my 20s. Don't have much time left. But I can't say whether it's affected my ability to be monogamous or not. But I don't think that, like, I'm not looking to hit the same number in my 30s. Like, I feel like it's less so. I think it makes me more able to be monogamous because, like, I've been out there and I've fucked a lot of different
Gotten it
kinds
out of your
of women.
system to an extent.
That's how I feel, honestly. I feel like, I fucked that snake woman that time, and then I fucked that hooker that time, and I fucked that Asian chick and that Filipino chick and that black chick, and on and on and on, and until it's just like, and I fucked this older lady and this, whatever, like all the different kinds of women. I feel like I've I've been with them, the ones whatever. And I feel like now in my 30s, which are coming soon enough, like I'm not looking.
When is your birthday?
It doesn't matter, It's May 9th. May 9th.
Is that it?
Yeah. Coming up soon. Is what it? Yeah, that's my real birthday. Everybody knows it because my YouTube channel was my birthday channel.
Okay.
Yeah, 5986.
I was asking privately, to get
everybody
a different
knows.
private answer.
Yeah, there's no way to hide that anymore. A cat's out of the bag. So, I think it makes me more likely to be a monogamous, committed 35-year-old at some point. Though that's not my goal, really. It's not really to settle down permanently or anything. I don't think. I don't know what my goals in life are as far as a relationship is. I'm with my girlfriend now.
Are you an uncle yet?
My half sister has children, so kind of.
Half uncle.
I'm a half uncle. Yeah. So yeah, she's got I don't know how many kids. Like she had twins and then another.
You're not a very committed uncle.
Nah. She's got 3 to 4 kids.
At least you could ballpark it.
yeah, I definitely ballpark it. Because she had twins, off the bat, and then she definitely had at least one more. I just don't remember if she had a 4th child.
I feel
because
like Kyle would be a good uncle. You know that?
My uncle never had a flamethrower.
Right. I'm a good neighbor to have. Maybe I don't know, somebody to hang out with occasionally.
No, that's not true. You're an awful neighbor.
Maybe I'm a good friend to have if you live in the area and you're able to visit and play with some stuff occasionally. But I don't know about a good uncle.
I just feel like you leave the kids over at Uncle Kyle's, they come back with stories to tell and like
I don't know if that's a good thing.
Experiences. So you're not taking them to whores, I don't think. You're just
he smoked a bunch of crack and went crazy.
I just,
he said he was gonna die in a month and he got high on meth. It was weird.
Uncle Kyle knew we were coming over and he made a jungle gym out of fence posts. And then the next month at Uncle Kyle's place, we did this and we did that.
We watched The Deer Hunter, and then he made me be Christopher Walken while we played Russian roulette. Kung Pao! Kung Pao!
Maybe not a good uncle.
Have you ever seen that movie? You ever seen The Deer Hunter?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I know the scene you're talking about.
But wait,
Robert
back onto
Niro,
this.
Got Chris. All right.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe your topic was better, but I feel like with this 16-year-old, he's dating he calls her a bit of a Jesus freak. I don't know if you like spending time with her, then
No. Look, go fuck a bunch of other chicks and then rub it in this chick's face and then fuck her. That's what you need to do, and that's what no one else will tell you to do.
You know what's super common? This is
okay. Other than this,
this is how it's going to play out. This is what's going to happen. She is going to withhold it from him for the entire time they date, right? She is going to listen to me. He's saying she is going to oh yeah, remain chaste, remain pure, whatever. They're going to date for 18 months before it finally breaks off. And then she's going to date another guy and she's going to fuck him 6 weeks in. This story has been told.
Strong possibility.
It's like a one-hit wonder in music. This is a super common story. She will get so used to turning you down, and you will get so used to accepting it. She's gonna fuck the next guy in a few weeks.
Yep.
If that could just be an immediate rebound.
But that doesn't mean you shouldn't leave her immediately. Here's what you do. Here's what you do. You make your case. You say, look, I want sex to be part of my relationship at this phase in my life. And I care a lot about you, and I'd like us to stay together. But I feel like for us to really connect with each other, if we're ever going to find out if we are right for each other, then we should really connect. I trust you enough for you to be my first. Don't you trust me the same way? And if she doesn't fuck you, then you break up with her, you go fuck another chick, and then you rub it in chick number one's face, and then she will fuck you. And that's what you do. I'm sorry.
And then she'll fuck you in this scenario.
No,
that's so not happening.
That is very good advice.
Chicks or you fuck 0 chicks. It
That's
is
good.
your choice.
It's good advice aside from the coming back with some weird vendetta at the end.
And getting laid out of it. It's just not a thing.
It's not an angry fuck.
Even if you take the whole, him wanting it and she doesn't thing out of it, her being a super conservative Christian and you're already noticing that as a big problem. Like, you think that's just going to go away? The option, she's going to get way more extreme, or she's going to either get really extreme with the Christianity in college, or she's going to zoot that other direction real quick and abandon all of it and go crazy. In which case, if you're at different colleges and that happens, you've wasted all your time for nothing anyway.
Yeah, man. Like this isn't one of those things where you're like, I'm never gonna get to have sex with Stacy. You're gonna fuck Stacy. Like, trust me. No matter what, as long as you don't like really bitch out of this situation, you're gonna fuck her for sure. Because she's gonna like loosen up next year or the year after, but she could loosen up in 4 months if you start fucking one of her friends. You need to be working on that. You need to show her what she's missing out on. You immediately cut all ties.
Send
with her.
dick pics.
No. You need to cut her completely loose, and you need to go to this other chick, and you need to be the best boyfriend you ever can to chick number 2. Doesn't even matter if she's that great looking. It's better if she's not as good looking as chick number 1. By the time this is over, you will fuck them both, and you'll be much happier. If you stick with chick number 1, you're not fucking her anytime soon.
Just get out of this weird maze that Kyle's trying to put you into, this labyrinth of deceit. Just end it and have fun in college.
You don't have
to look
at it as a labyrinth of deceit. Here, look at it this way. Break up with her and find somebody else.
Perfect.
But in the back of your head, remember, that's somebody else. You're just fucking her to rub it in chick number 1's face. Because when she sees that you're off, you've got this other thing going on, she's going to be jealous. That's all that's going to happen. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
And say something about her weight when you break up. Just a little, like a little thing, like not even like a direct insult. Just be like,
you don't sweat much for a fat girl.
Like, you've been a big impact on my life. And just
a heavy impact. I can physically feel it. Yeah. Like 2 backpacks.
I think you said a couple times that she was really pretty.
You'll be okay. I mean, you're a big girl.
Yeah.
It's better if she's really pretty. They have the most fragile self-esteem. Where are you from, Woody? I thought you were from New Jersey. I thought you were hooking up with those tourist chicks.
I never fucked them.
Oh.
I did not get laid that summer.
That's a shame.
Yeah, people thought that. No, I kissed a lot of girls and went to a lot of movies, but I was not sexing up all those girls.
Well, it wasn't a total loss. A lot of movies.
It seems like I love the scenario you described, because I feel like, I don't know, 18-year-old single you or whatever, like an older age bracket of anyone, not necessarily you. That sounds like a great
I was
environment
17,
to live in. I'd like to be a townie. That'd be cool.
Townie.
Yeah, I want to be a townie somewhere. Maybe that's what I'll do in my 30s.
Yeah, I don't know if Taylor knows it, but yeah, in fast forward, when you live in a beach town, every week there's like a whole new batch of people, and I would just whatever date a couple of them. I get caught like cheating with my 3-day-old relationship. Didn't care at all. It's like, oh, you thought we were like yeah, all right, I got caught. You can both drop me. I don't give a shit. Let me just get started on another one.
The bigger your pool is, the more the wider you can cast your net.
Yeah.
And that's just a fun way of saying, like, you can just get a speech down, just a basic intro, and memorize that shit like a line, like you're an actor. That's all you got to do. Same intro every time. You know what the 3 possible reactions are. You got a line for each one of those. Next line. You got like 5 lines, and that's all you need. If you haven't gotten a date by the 5th line, you just move on to the next one, and you don't even have to be polite when you walk away. Just like, and just fucking move along. You don't have to go far. Like, you can see the next one from and just go to the next one. Like, same lines. Repeat.
It can be going well, right? And you're talking to this nice 7 out of 10, and things are okay, and it's kind of working for you. And then there's a 7.5 out of 10 over there. And then just go and work the 7.5 out of 10 if that's what you want to do. You see, we've all talked about how it's a numbers game, right? Don't get too wrapped up into one girl. They all have their pros and cons. See what sticks, right? Now, when you're in college, especially if you go, how big was your school, Mirka, in college? How many students went there? 20,000 maybe?
Oh, way bigger than that. Mizzou had well over 30,000.
Okay, so there's well over 30,000 people there. We'll guess about half are girls. He could really
60% almost girls.
Nice. So it was a numbers game that he could play. If you go to a high school, like in an extreme example, my daughter's high school, each class, that is each year, has something like, I think it's like 80 kids.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
You know, like it, and by the way, you know, right away, only half of those are going to be, you know, the sex you're looking for, right? So now we're down to like 40 people, and of
there's
those,
10 of those who are fucked up.
more than that, right? You know, yeah, more than that. Of those 40, there's probably 10 that you would date.
I mean, there's 10 that you just couldn't date, though. Like there's 10 that are just fucked, out of that class. Yeah, that would make for a difficult environment to work in.
If you could hit the redo button on one moment in your life, what would it be? This is an Askreddit question, and some of the top answers were not being a lazy bitch when I had to go see mom. Maybe she would have chosen life instead a month later. Well, damn. In high school, I fapped to a lot of girls that I found out later in life I could have slept with. Change what I decided to go to college for. Oh, this guy says
That's a good question.
He would have married his wife sooner. All right, so those are some of the top rated answers on Ask Reddit. Redo button.
If it was like a change your like perspective kind of thing, I probably would go back to high school and just redo. Like I had a perception, not everybody obviously, but like you think that everybody else thinks that they have their shit in check and that you're the odd one out and that you don't have anything under control and everybody else is like just, you know, living what they post on Facebook and whatnot. But just, I would tell myself, I'd teach myself the essence of fake it till you make it with confidence. Like just ways to put out there like, wow, that guy's confident as fuck, even if it doesn't matter. Like just, I'd put that foot forward more. But if it was for a specific event, I think PKA 140 could have been handled better. You know, it could have done better there.
Is that what that was? 140 or 141? I don't know why that stuck in my head.
It was great.
141 maybe? I don't know. I got that. I don't know which number it is. I've blocked that section of memory out.
How would one do such a thing?
Alcohol.
Yes.
My internet went out that night, so I was only there for like the first half hour, 40 minutes, something like that.
Did you listen to that show by chance?
I went back and caught the highlights. Mostly the Merca highlights. They were great. Lefty would be like, well, I don't know about it. And he'd just be like, shut the fuck up, Lefty. You fucking Native American cocksucker.
See, it's one of those things that, like, going back and watching it, I'm like, God, if this were anyone else but me, I would be howling right now. Howling at how funny this was. But it's me, and so I'm like, just sitting there cringing so hard my face hurts. Just like, oh, you dumb fuck.
My favorite line.
Why'd you do this?
I described you as a little drunk at one point, and I was being generous and kind, I thought. And you're like, what do you think? I'm a little drunk? You're adorable.
Oh, I know. I was just such a condescending prick.
I liked it. It worked for me.
I talked to you the next day. You were like, that is the drunkest I have ever been.
And I think it probably was, because I didn't know I was doing the show that night. I've been day drinking with a couple friends, and then Woody or someone texted me. That whole day was a blur and was like, hey, you want to do PKA? And I'm like, I could power through a few more beers and then still do a drinking episode. And so I just continued to drink up till the point where the show started. And then because I was alone and there was no one there at that point to like tell me, hey, settle down, idiot. Like I just kept cracking them open and drinking them so fast. And God, this is so embarrassing.
It was so great, man. I didn't think you did anything embarrassing because it wasn't that. Mostly you were just, you know,
Kyle's frozen right now. So what I want to know,
aggressive and angry with.
Yeah, I was just being needlessly aggressive, but it was enjoyable to watch from an entertainment perspective.
Here's what I want to know. I'm sorry to cut you off if it sounded like that on your side, Kyle, but on ours it was just no audio.
I caught it.
I'm sorry, what?
I understood.
Oh,
what
okay.
happened.
Taylor, so the core of your argument that you were making on that, your drunken argument, was that like you felt like Lefty wasn't funny, that he shouldn't be in the position he was in on PKA, and that I guess that was the core of it, you know, like, and I guess you personally weren't a fan of his work. Sometimes when you're drunk, you say the things you think and like, you know, that you would otherwise hold back. And sometimes when you're drunk, you have an opinion that you only hold very temporarily when you're very, very drunk, right? And that's not even what you really think. You just were drunk wacko.
Drunk you was led to that thought. through a drunk process. That can happen. You can get drunk and someone can be like, Lefty's a cocksucker. You'd be like, he is a cocksucker. Fuck it. Where like sober you would be like, no, he's all right.
And then of course the other possibility is drunk you says what sober you thought. And I've always wondered, like, which one of those was it? Or somewhere in the middle.
With that one, I can say, sorry if I'm cutting over someone. You guys both just stopped for me.
Listening.
But for that one, I can remember that. Like I don't think I've watched more than 1-2 of Lefty's videos ever. At that point, I guarantee I hadn't watched any of them. Like I'd watched him on PKA, and I thought he was fine. Like I didn't understand like the people hating on him or the people really loving on him. Nothing like that. I took a position in my drunken stupor, and I defended it with just annoying, condescending vigor. And oh, God, it's so awful. Sorry again, Lefty.
We were the internet went out, and I was at my girlfriend's house, and I was like, I can't wait to watch the show tomorrow. She's like, why? You're not even on it. And I was like, well, Taylor was very drunk, and he seemed real angry at Lefty. I think Lefty might have done something to him. I don't know, but we'll find out tomorrow because it's all going up on the internet. And when it came out, I was like, all right, let's sit down.
Forever.
Forever. Yes. Yeah. PKAs don't go away. I bet even this conversation is going to get that video, 1,000 more looks. They're going to hear drunk Merca and his drunken, uninformed opinion on Lefty at the time. Kyle, if you could hit the redo button on one moment in your life, what would it be?
Yeah, my tomfoolery.
There was a guy that bullied me in high school, and I would like to. And the reason that I didn't like attack him was because I had this thing like in my head about like not getting in trouble, and like that it would be a really big deal, like a life-altering event, if I were to say get suspended for a few days. I felt like it can be in some cases. Like in my high school, if you miss more than 5 days, you fail. You fail that semester. So that can be a thing. So like it. But looking back now, I'd have been like, dude, just do summer school. Whack him with a wrench. Like that guy needed it real bad. He was a douchebag. He was like 3 years older than me. He needed a real good wrenching to the face. Should have beat him up. Totally could have.
3 years older is a tall order, or it was for me anyway.
Oh yeah, he was. I meant it with a wrench though, or rubber hammers. I didn't want to kill him, but he needed a weapon was gonna have to be produced. Like
right. He baseball bat I always thought was nice to wield. Like you could do it real quick. And
it was at school, like I had to pick something from shop class I could use. I got wrenches, I got rubber hammers,
I see. All right.
This guy was like a good 2 or 3 years older. He was a grown up. He had more facial hair than I got now. He's a grown up. He's a grown man, and I was still a kid. Picking on me, shoving me around and stuff, and he needed a good beating.
No way that should happen in high school.
He might still need one.
Now what he needs. There's a new Kyle. He needs a good shooting. Man's got plenty of holes in him, but not enough.
I had this fantasy about hitting him with that rubber hammer, though. That's what I'd like to do. I had
You're really stuck on the rubber hammer thing.
What
was
the
scenario that you had?
If I could make a suggestion, Kyle, shoot first, rubber hammer second. I just think it'll work out really well.
Now that I've shot you in the leg, you won't be able to escape this flurry of rubber hammers.
Akimbo rubber hammers.
Of course, in my fantasy, there's one in each hand.
Did you have a monologue of sorts prepared?
It's not even like this. It's this. It's a windmill of hammers. Remember in Planet of the Apes when the monkeys would beat somebody? Like it's like that.
My name is Kyle Montoya. You shoved me into the lockers. Prepare to die.
That's a great movie too.
What did he do to bully you? Did he just kind of shove you around, or did he humiliate you? Or
well, yeah, I was trying to get with his girlfriend, and he hated that. And
the audacity!
I can't believe you turned out to be the bad guy.
I totally took his girlfriend too. 3 years his junior. Fuck that guy. I did.
Now you're the little punk that required a beating, from what I can tell.
Nah, we'll see. All right, so like,
this guy should use a thick rope with a knot in it. You should hit Kyle.
That's what he should use against me.
Yeah, I'm helping him with his fantasy since you stole his girl.
I got his girl. I ended up anyway. He was a dick about it. It was real funny. Like I don't know, like a year or two later, when like she's like on the phone with him, like breaking up with him. He's just like, just don't tell me it's him. Don't tell me it's him. Don't make me look like a fool. And I remember that. It's me. That was just so. I guess I kind of got my, my revenge.
Just desserts.
Yeah. The more you tell the story, the more you seem like a prick in it.
Yeah, but you got to keep in mind, this guy was like 17 and I was like 14. The girl.
How old was the girl?
14.
If I was in his situation, I think I might have frequently shoved you into lockers and just roughed you up a little bit to make myself feel better about you stealing my girl.
Well, I hadn't stolen her at the time. I was trying to steal her.
Well, wait, that changes everything.
Yeah,
stealing her. Was that just a retaliatory measure, just
Absolutely
to be like,
not.
"Fuck you"? So you tried to steal her?
No. I went on and like dated this is somebody I went on dated a lot more. But in any case, no, I was just trying to get her. I was flirting, like being friends with her, talking to her on the phone. I might have grabbed her butt a few times, something like that. But I felt like he needed a good rubber hammering in any case. And I guess in the end I kind of won because I got the girl, and he's some kind of a mechanic somewhere. So fuck him. I remember there's this one guy from high school.
You know
that
what I picture being near him right now? Rubber hammers.
Probably, yeah. He's sitting with a lot of rubber hammers now. It's but, there was this other guy in high school I didn't like, and I went and checked up on him. I didn't do I don't go on Facebook, but we were on Facebook for some reason with someone else. I do not go personally, but we were on there, and we were looking at people we went to high school with, and there's this guy, and this guy was like, I probably shouldn't say what position he was on the football team, but this guy was important. He was the main guy, right? Like everybody super popular, everybody liked him. He fucked all the good-looking girls, but now he's a drill press operator, and I love that. That his entire purpose in life is this now, over and over all day. So fuck that guy and fuck the other guy, and I win. So I guess I wouldn't do those over though. I guess I'd go back and beat him up then, but then I'll kind of like double win. I should probably think of a better one that doesn't make me seem like such an asshole.
Good luck with that.
Right?
Yeah, your choices were very petty.
No, it really did. It was bad, The guy was picking on me. It made me. It scared me. I was afraid to go to that class. It was some emotional trauma. It hurt me, and it made me feel bad. And I'd like to go back and fix that. That'd be good. Take that one off.
That's one of the things about these, I don't want to say courage tests because it feels. But if you don't like rise to the courage test, it eats you up, doesn't it? Like
those. This is a bit of advice that I'll give anyone out there. So there's going to be a moment in your life where there's two options, and one of them is action, and the other is inaction. And you're often going to be afraid that action will be worse than inaction, and it rarely is. If I had hit that guy with a rubber hammer, I'd have probably had to go to summer school, but that would have been the worst of it. There'd have been stories about me beating this guy up to this day. There's still stories about me beating up a couple guys to this day. I saw somebody I went to high school with like 6 weeks ago, and they're like, yeah, man, I remember that time at the football game, and you fucked him up. Then your dad came over and laughed at him. It was great, and it's true. My dad did come over and laugh at him. He was like, look at that little son of a bitch now, Kyle. It was a whole thing. But in any case, don't be the coward. Be the guy who steps up and does the thing. And if you get beat up, a beating's not that bad. It's just not. Wrap up. It's not going to be that bad. You can get punched a few times. You might end up with a bloody nose, but you're not going to lose an eye in a high school fight. Just take the beating and hit. Just make sure you get yours in too, and you'll feel better about it when you're 30. Like, what you don't want to do is be 30 and be like, motherfucker, and like holding that anger in and just wait until you're at a Citgo gas station one day and be like, there you are, and just running the guy down in your car. Like, you don't want that. Don't let that anger boil up in you until one day you're slapping your wife around, slamming beer.
Exactly. As it clearly hasn't festered in you.
It totally festered in me. I still hold a grudge against that guy. If I saw him, I'd fight him.
I've got
but he's a drill press operator. You got
that's a different guy. No. The drill press operator I'm actually cool with. I just thought it was interesting to see he peaked big time in high school, and there's no way that he's ever going to be as large and in charge as he was in high school, because he was the guy, right? You know, he had the new car, he had whatever hot girlfriend he wanted. He was good looking. He was going to go to this school or that school and play this sport or that sport. And it was just like, oh, now you operate a drill press all day. So I thought that was a little interesting. And that's more petty because that guy wasn't really cruel to me ever. He was a nice enough guy. So that is pretty petty. But the other guy was a real piece of shit. And everyone knew he was lame. And I wish nothing but bad things upon him. Because I am petty like that. I make no...
You don't have to convince us.
That guy that broke my nose. That's the guy I got in a similar scenario. I've told the story, so in fast forward, I just had my arm operated on. It was paralyzed. It was in a sling. My buddy mouthed off. The guy hit my buddy, and I reached across like to stop him from fighting back. And the whole time I didn't want to fight. And as I reached over with one arm in a sling and the other arm like this, the guy hit me, and he broke my nose in 2 places. I still have like I have a big nose, right?
Dude, fix it. Why don't you get that nose fixed? First of all, let me just say, I don't think your nose looks bad.
A warrior. He wants to be a Jedi Knight.
Just to wrap up on the previous topic, Return of the Two Kings will help you find it. I see that video has 2,000 views, so it's not the original. But if you want to see what I'm talking about, Return of the Two Kings. Anyway, yeah. Did you guys, as a related thing, on Reddit, there's this guy that posted a safe. And the safe, he bought the home, and the previous owners were drug dealers, and it's an unopened safe. And he, shows these pictures. He starts a new subreddit. What's in this thing? He never showed us what was in it. Why? Because he started getting hate for not like actively working on it. Like whatever, 4 days goes by, there's no update, and all these people that loved him and were just so excited about his safe adventure suddenly started hating him because OP didn't deliver. OP's a fag, etc. Some guys just aren't built for internet hate, and it sucks when it gets thrust upon them.
He should have opened that fucking safe. OP is a open that fucking safe, you asshole. I don't know what's in it.
That should open the safe. There's no doubt about that.
But that aside,
yeah, it would not post it. It's like, don't go saying I guarantee OP will deliver and show us all these tantalizing pictures of your lovely safe and the backstory of drug dealers. And then
what if he found something horrible in there and that's why he didn't deliver?
What if there's like a decomposed human hand in that motherfucker?
What's up, Smee? If you're seeing this, bite me. Open your safe.
Open that safe, bro.
There were tons of people willing to help him, like offering money and expertise and stuff, and he just didn't follow up.
Dude, I'm getting that safe in an hour. Let's do this.
Yes. Yeah. I think getting that safe in less than an hour. I mean, it would ruin it. But if I were to take an angle grinder to it, there's nothing an angle grinder can't grind.
I was going thermite.
I mean, that's cool, but would it work?
Oh, yeah. We're melting our way.
Brought down the trade centers.
Oh, my God.
Oh, boy. Here we go. Jet fuel.
Free fall speed.
I've never used thermite.
Why not just have a locksmith come out and crack the safe?
Money.
Didn't you say people offered to help pay for it?
And that's why he's a...
I mean, seriously, how much could it be? At the most, $250.
Right. I think 150 was an estimate that was thrown around a lot.
150. That means you have to get 150 people be interested enough to put $1 towards it.
Yeah.
So apparently, there's a new safe to be cracked on Reddit.
I saw that on the front page.
I'm not interested in new safes. There's plenty of safes out there. Go on.
But this guy's cracking it. He's hired some. It's a floor safe. It looks impressive, and it is currently being hacked. Broken into.
I saw that, and it. I don't know. It's like my heart's been broken once already.
This guy's totally going to deliver, though.
He will. He will.
Why can't you just call a locksmith and have him crack the safe for you?
Some safes are serious business.
Some locksmiths are serious.
Have you seen the Italian Job wings? Because I have. Shit was on the real.
Yeah, but that's a movie, dude. Like movies say that cops can pick up where you're at by holding you on the phone for like 30 seconds.
Well, yeah, they know immediately where you are.
I'm pretty sure they can.
Well, no, they know immediately where you are.
Yeah.
Because somebody's got to pay the bill on that sumbitch. And they're going to figure that out. Somebody's got to get paid.
I'm looking at this. The name of this Reddit that it was posted in, the cum box, was called Reddit's Museum of Filth, and I'm looking around at some of these things, and I need to link a couple of them to you. Let me
from the Museum of Filth there. Okay. All right.
All right. Here's a link that, and then I'll read this. It'll be fun. All right. This is something from the Museum of Filth, and it was linked there from some question of what's the most self-inflicted sexual injury you've encountered, that kind of thing. So
this is gonna be good.
not exactly sexual, but when we had gynecology and obstetrics in med school, we got this girl in the from the psychiatric ward. The reason she got referred to gynecology is that she was smelly. Yep, really. So we didn't quite understand the referral until we got in the room and met the patient. The patient is a skinny young girl with the foulest necrosis-like odor I've ever smelt. It was literally so bad, half of us had to leave the room. The paramedics also commented that they had to roll down the windows when driving her there. According to the paramedics had to roll down the windows. They'll like pick up people's colons that get shot out by a biker who was just wearing shorts and then throw it in the back with shit. They're rolling out the window, down the windows. According to the referral, the smell had been there for several weeks, and they tried everything, including forcing her to shower to make it end, and now they sent her to rule out gynecological issues. Well, what we found when we put her in the stirrups was that this girl had anorexia, and as a means of hiding her uneaten food from the hospital staff, guess where she'd been putting her chewed up pieces of food? Yep, she of course told us she had never put anything up there. Well, either there's a disease that makes potatoes grow in your vagina, or she was lying. We dug out tons of literally rotten meat from this girl's vaginal cavity. Some of it had been there for so long. We put her on antibiotics for the terrible infection she of course had. Hospital food where I went to school isn't great in general, and it didn't help to let it ferment for a few weeks in an acidic environment full of bacteria. I will never forget that smell. To make you understand how bad it was, let me just say that the vagina of any anorexic is not a happy place to begin with, as they are very prone to nasty fungal infections. Here, empiric treatment for both fungal and bacterial infections, seeing as we had trouble differentiating the more rotten food from her own necrotic vaginal tissue. So mix the smell of necrosis, rotting food, severely unclean crotch with a nice hint of infection to top it off. At this point in school, we had sat through countless hours of smelly surgeries, autopsies, treating homeless people in the ER, and I've never seen any of my fellow students react physically to any smell. Half of the people immediately had to leave the room, and some of us who stayed had to vomit.
Dear
so there you go.
God.
Can you imagine being so mentally ill that you hide like ham hocks and crab goons in your pussy?
No, I've heard all kinds of stories like that. Like Benji from the Stern Show talks about hooking up with this chick at the AVN Awards and like fingering her and finding a plastic baggie of drugs and pulling it out and being like, "There's drugs here," and she was like, "Ah, shit, I forgot I had those there." Like I've heard of porn stars putting, if you're familiar with like a makeup kit, the little squishy thing that the makeup applicator, that little pad thing. I've heard of them shoving that in their vagina to like hold back a period, and then having sex for the porno.
The tiny wedge thing.
They make circular ones. They're like a puck, and they're very dense and squishy. And the chick had shoved one of those up there to stop her period, and then forgotten about it. And so it's just soaked in blood and rotten up in there. And I heard the smell of that was disgusting. But what you are describing, sir, is a clogged food processor full of rotten hospital food and pussy.
I feel like you guys are looking at this through a very narrow lens. Like, okay, I will grant you that she had some, necrotic pussy tissue and a little bit of rotting meat and potatoes, but she was anorexic, which means outside of that, she was probably pretty hot.
I mean, maybe she looked good.
Yeah. I mean, if you could get over the smell.
Worth it.
Well, I mean, we all have different priorities.
Oh my goodness.
I think if you fucked her in the ass, it's unlikely there'd be much of a mess there. She doesn't eat.
Yeah, probably not.
I'm a problem solver.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I've got.
I think I'm better at picturing things in my mind than the average person because I'm really getting some awful mental images of this rotten vagina.
You're still on that, huh? See, I just breezed right through. I don't mind.
Have you ever like left like a bag of potatoes that has like 3 or 4 potatoes left in it, like on a rack or in a
Oh
in a
yeah,
shelf.
like some spuds start growing out and like spurts.
They turn
Shoots.
black, and black liquid comes out of them, and it smells like death. I'm imagining that in her vagina.
Well, that's what it was.
I wonder,
It was
like,
that, and like they even said in there that it was so bad that when they're removing stuff, they're like pulling on it. They're like, "Goddamn piece of roast beef," and they're like, "Oh no, that's just rotted vaginal tissue." Okay, leave it there.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, what was the aftermath? They need a water pick.
Yeah, you need you need like a hydrosonic water pick or something to get that out. See, that was a little gross. I'm glad it grossed Kyle out so much. Honestly, like
You know what
stories
I'd
like
like
that,
to do
I would rather read about that than see somebody eat a booger. That grosses me out. Watching people eat boogers is disgusting to me.
What if you poured a bottle of hydrogen peroxide in the vagina?
Oh, she'd be like one of those, 5th grade experiments where
Volcano.
she just erupted,
Yeah.
Well, if here, this won't be nearly as brutal, Kyle. I'll link this one to you. So the title of this
Pretty rough stuff, man.
is so this guy,
Did he shoot off his penis?
he shot his penis off on purpose.
Ooh, I can't show these pictures, but I'm looking at them.
He posted, "What are some ways I could sever the stump of my penis?" in like a morbid questions thing, and he deleted that. But here it says, here's like the little bit of the post. It says, I shot off roughly 90% of my cock and have a stump left. I'm looking for ways to try to remove it. 1, band it up, then shoot it off. 2, penis guillotine, in parentheses, not sure if there's enough left. 3, try to slice it off, least desirable option. Dip it in liquid nitrogen and smash it. Says this anti-penis Bill Nye who's gonna fucking dip it in liquid nitrogen, you goddamn degenerate. Comment from OP. Yes, I shot it 4 times with a revolver. Think about that. You shot your own cock,
That's
and
just
then
the
you
start.
do it three more times. Bang, bang, bang. Yes, I shot it 4 times with a revolver, cooked it on the stove right after, and then ate it. No, the bullets go through very cleanly through the skin. I shot it 4 times in a straight line across in order to sever it. And then here are the 3 pictures. If you guys want to find this on Reddit, just look up the shot off penis stump, and it looks like, I don't even know what to say. This looks like. It looks like just a nutsack with a hole in the middle.
It
Like,
kind
and
of
there,
looks
I don't
like
see
an
any
asshole
balls.
where the penis
It
goes.
looks a little bit like an asshole. It's good to see this guy still cares enough about the region to shave part of this whatever fucking thing it is. Why bother shaving? Whatever. Nobody's gonna see it. This is insane. And then he has a picture of it banded up, where he just ties a rubber band around his penis stump and is trying to let it die, I guess. The questions for him were, why did you shoot your cock? How did you react immediately after? And what the fuck? I shot it off for God. God wasn't having it. God said, I don't like that dick. Shoot it off. So he did, I guess. Immediately after, I cooked it a little and ate it. Then I laid on the ground and listened to music before calling an ambulance. God is crucifying me. I was supposed to chop off my balls too and die. I chopped off my nuts 2 months ago. Now I have to chop off the rest of the stump and bleed out. The bullets tore through it. It's a fleshy cock. It doesn't stand a chance against a 38 special revolver. No seasoning. No seasoning, just olive oil. I need to remove it to bleed to death in order to complete a blood sacrifice to God. Right now, shooting it again is my best bet. Well, at least he's going to heaven.
Man, like you read stuff like this and you realize that we're so ignorant as to just how crazy some of the people around us are, because this is 5 levels above the crazy we normally deal with. Like the people that you'd be like, oh yeah, he's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Look at him. Look at him over there. He's crazy. Look, he shaved that silly thing into his hair, and look, he's got this piercing and that piercing. He split his tongue. Can you believe he split his tongue?
This guy's insane. He wears one of those bikinis for guys, right? Like, who wears a Speedo?
He smokes meth casually. It's absurd. He's insane. Really? Did he shoot his penis off to blood sacrifice himself to the Lord? Nah. Did he eat the severed cock and then plan to do more amputations because, God? No, nothing like that. Nothing like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is grotesque. Like that's an insane level of mental illness. Think about that. You think God is telling you to shoot your dick off, and so you do it, and then you like, in a blasé way, talk about it on Reddit, like, yeah, I shot it off. It was just fleshy. God told me to do it. Olive oil, no seasoning. It was decent. Like it's a fucking crazy person. Like,
Dude ate his dick.
I wonder if these people know, like, if people in this guy's life know how crazy he is that he shot his dick off, or if he's just like an unassuming, like, I was told that I would not have to move my office again. I was told.
Do you
like,
think that
kind of
in every other way, this guy's normal? There's no chance of that. This guy is a nutcase in lots of areas.
Yeah. Come on down to Stubby's, get your used car. Whatever he actually does.
On the bright side, now that I've sacrificed my
if you beat my
peace to
deal,
the
I'll
Lord.
shoot my cock off. In retrospect, shouldn't have put that in writing.
On the bright side, I don't have that compulsion to use the cum box anymore. That's all done.
Yeah, it's the same guy. This was God's punishment for my cum box. 20 years.
Waste not, want not.
Waste not, want. Oh man, this is a really fucked up subreddit. I like this. I can't believe that I haven't heard of this before.
Now
it's called Museum of Filth. Reddit's Museum of Filth.
Now, if you're gonna shoot your cock off with a 38, what's your technique? Right? Do you get it hard first, so that there's no flopping around and you get a clean cut, or do you stretch it out from like the head? So you get it nice and thin, so maybe it takes fewer bullets.
You'd want it to be. I think it'd be tough to maintain an erection with a gun pointed at your penis. So I think you're going to end up doing it soft. And I imagine this guy did it by doing what the stretch method, where you stretch
5
it
bullets
out.
Though.
But 4 bullets.
4 bullets, 4 shots.
Yeah. And he fucked it up too, because now he's got like a pelvic asshole looking thing on the front.
Are you suggesting?
Where's the pee come out?
I think it dribbles out as a
does
mess.
It just dribble?
Yeah, yeah. That's actually, to me, one of the things I would miss the most. Obviously there's sex, but the ability to pee cleanly, that would suck. I really like having that.
If I lost my dick, I would kill myself.
Yeah.
After I killed whoever did it.
Yeah. We've been through this before. Like it's a no-brainer.
Huh.
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
You kill yourself.
If I got like an acid attack, I've got a funny, hopefully it'll be funny. I haven't read through it all yet. Post on Reddit that's kind of older, and it says, I found it on, I think you guys probably already know of this one, but it's called Jesus Christ Reddit, and it's like really inappropriate, like horrible things that you see there.
Yeah.
And so I was looking at that, and this one's called Wife Told Me She Wanted to Experiment. I obliged. Then she attempted to eat my feces. And so is that worth reading?
Yes.
Okay. Throwaway account because my wife follows my regular account here. I'm 28, my 28M wife 26F. I don't know how you're supposed to read that. And I have admittedly had very vanilla sex throughout our 3-year marriage. We had our first kid a year ago, and it seriously slowed down our sex life. However, a little under a month ago, she approached me about trying new things. She's been hanging out with a group of moms in our neighborhood, and one of them told her that she and her husband tried pegging, and it had completely transformed their marriage. My wife told me that she wanted to try pegging as well to spice things up. At first, I thought it was a joke, but soon realized she actually wanted to peg me. I'd never done ass play before, and had always lived by the philosophy that the anus is solely an exit. My wife made it clear that this was important to her, so a few days later, I obliged. The next week, she pegged me, and everything was surprisingly enjoyable. Additionally, the week following, the pegging was one of the best weeks we've had together since the birth of our child.
I really thought he was going to say that his bowel movements were better than they were previously.
No, it was just the best week since the birth
better
of
than
their
father.
child. Yeah. His first words, fine. Getting plowed in the ass by my wife with a plastic dick, tops. We were back to our old sex life, doing things like having sex before work and even waking each other up with head. However, that next weekend, she told me she wanted to peg me again. I was slightly confused as to why this last week of sex wasn't cutting it for her, but I agreed. That's when things took an extreme turn. During the second pegging, while my wife was inside of me, she grabbed my hair, craned my neck to the right, and pressed our foreheads together. I had never seen her take control like this and thought it was very hot until she looked me in the eye and whispered, I want your shit. I pulled my face away and asked her to repeat, and she said, I want you to shit on me. I pushed her off of me and asked if she was joking, and she started crying.
I felt like a fucking dick because she thought I was kink shaming her. In a way, I was, because I thought that request was far too extreme. I ended up leaving for the night and stayed with one of my close friends, but didn't tell him what happened. After that incident, my wife and I hardly talked all week unless it related to our son. At the end of the week, I asked my wife to talk about what happened. She told me again that she wanted to shit on that. She told me again she wanted me to shit on her and that it meant a lot to her. I thought it was sickening, but she claimed this was her deepest, darkest kink. I couldn't understand how and why my shit excited her, but she insisted that she's always wanted this. We fought about it for a week, and after watching some scat porn and reading articles by people who also shared this kink, I tried to put myself in my wife's shoes. I told her that I will shit on her if that's what will turn her on. She was so happy, and even though I was still completely nauseated by the desire, I wanted to satisfy her. That brings us to tonight. We were having sex for the first time this week when I regrettably confessed to her that I had to take shit. She perked up with a smile, sensed my discomfort, and began stroking my hair and whispering encouraging things to me. I still really didn't want to go through with it, but since I'd promised her, I pulled out and we ran to the bathroom. She got into the bathtub and I hung my ass over the side of the tub. She got into the bathtub and I hung my ass over the side of the tub. I started pushing, but unsurprisingly found it very difficult to successfully shit on my wife. I turned my head around. To see my wife staring up and smiling at me, waiting for me to finish. With enough time, I was finally able to get a turd to start coming out. I could hear my wife breathing heavier beneath me as my asshole started to open. However, before the turd was able to drop on her chest, I felt a sensation around my asshole. I turned and saw my wife, the love of my life, the mother of my son, attempting to catch my turd in her mouth as it fell out of my asshole. I was horrified that she would try to do this and tried to pull the shit back into my body so she couldn't receive it in her mouth.
How selfish.
Seeing what looked like an attempt by her to eat my shit brought me close to throwing up. As I clenched my butt cheeks together to try and stop the shit from reaching my wife, the clenching cut off a very small piece of shit, and I heard it land somewhere beneath me. I was too scared and disgusted to look at my wife to see what she'd done with it, so I ran to the other bathroom to clean myself. As I was sitting in the other bathroom thinking about how I will ever be able to look in my wife in the eye again, I heard footsteps approaching. My wife lightly knocked on the door. I didn't respond and was on the verge of throwing up the more I thought about what had just happened. She walked away and I got a text from her thanking me for fulfilling her wish and asked me to come to bed. Oh, shit, clicked on the wrong thing. I've been sitting in the living room typing this. Yeah. I've been sitting in the living room Fuck.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, I clicked that. I've been sitting in the living room typing this for the last half hour, scared to face my wife. We have plans to take our son to the zoo with another family tomorrow, but I don't think I can look at her after what she just did. I feel deceived and violated by the woman I love and trust. During our initial conversations about this, there was never a question that my shit would go anywhere other than her chest. She knew how uncomfortable I was with this in the first place, yet she still tried to push the boundary that we had established. I would appreciate feedback from any blah, 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 blah. Don't care about that. So,
all right, let's give some advice to this guy. There were moments in this where I thought, hey, what am I going to say? Not everything you do is your favorite thing. But she's asking for a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wildly inappropriate. Especially if you've firmly agreed the shit will go no further than the chest and you turn around and see her gobbling on it.
Look, I'm disgusted by the whole thing personally, but I'd shit in her mouth. You know,
you're just
I would
a
be
good
worried
lover,
that
Kyle. A kind, generous lover.
You know, yeah, my wife, whatever. I don't care who it is, but I would be like, what do you want me to eat today? You know, like I got a real hankering for Chipotle, but I don't think that's gonna make for a fun experience for you.
Here's the thing in my head.
Oatmeal.
It's like if I poop in your mouth, we need to have a common understanding that I find your mouth unsexy for several days. Right?
What?
Like
Come on, little smart mouth. Look, smart mouth combines.
It's a binurdal. What is it? A bi what compound? A bi.
Two liquid solution
that allows you to shit in a woman's mouth and do it carefree because it kills all of the oral bacteria that will certainly be breeding fervently within.
I hope they appreciate the second
mouth.
read we're doing.
Can you imagine what her breath smelled? Well, her breath probably smelled like shit. Yeah,
that's my thing. Yeah. If I poop in her mouth, you got to like. I don't want to kiss you after sex. I might not want to kiss you tomorrow.
I'm totally on board with that. You're right. Like dude, poop is so fucking gross. Like implementing that at all into sex.
It's about the grossest thing.
It's revolting.
It's the grossest thing.
I would
prefer.
I would
I'm
drink
trying to
swamp
think of-
water first.
The thing about blood, though, like I was about to say blood play, but like I think I'd rather do poop than blood because there's something about like even being into because there's like harm that comes from that has to transpire for there.
Blood
to
is
be,
less gross, but the way that you get it is not okay.
There's something wrong about the way you get it. That we're doing harm and so much harm that we're breaking the skin to acquire the blood.
What if it was pig's blood? What if you got it in like IV bags and did blood play?
What are we gonna do with it exactly? Like roll around in it?
Spread around, slip and slide.
God,
that might be better than poop to me. I don't know.
It's not for me. No, I don't care for blood very much. I don't want poop on me. Okay, but I will poop on her if I have to.
Because you're a generous lover. I really think that's where it's coming from. In
it
Kyle.
Absolutely is. I really don't want to. If that's a private thing, I'm a little like I don't want you to know when I'm pooping. Like this is one area where I agree with Howard Stern 100%. He's like, my wife never knows when and if I shit. I have a private bathroom on the other side of the place. I go there, I do it, and I'm terrified while I'm in there that she might knock on the door and wonder what I'm doing in there. I don't want her to know that I do shit. And I feel like that's
I have no problem with that. Like I'll tell my girlfriend I gotta go take a shit.
Well, that's not me.
I'm closer to Kyle and Howard on this. No, it's not that level of secrecy. My wife and I describe it as keeping the magic alive. If there's something gross about you, I try to keep it from her.
Yeah, you don't need to know that. Just
Other
like,
people do it differently.
If you have a yeast infection, maybe keep that to yourself. Just be like, not today. You know, I don't need to know that there's yeast growing in your vagina and it smells bad today. Just be like, today's not the day. Okay, then. See you later. I'm not gonna delve further. And the same.
You don't want to know?
No, I don't.
Like not even in cute little language. Like, feel like I'm opening a brewery down there.
No, no, that would anger me. That would anger me. It would anger me.
We just use some euphemism, you know. Like my wife might say, "The office is closed for reconstruction." That could mean any number of things, but it means not now.
I like Shark Week as a euphemism. It's Shark Week. Not happening.
Yeah.
See the poop thing, like now, would you ever? Forgive me if I didn't catch it, Kyle. You're talking about being the generous lover, willing to shit on them.
Oh no.
What if they want to poop on you? Not on your mouth or your chest. Maybe like they just want to like get the top of one of your feet with shit. Your bare feet.
I'm so opposed to that.
Right? Because I feel like
I know how kinks work, right? She's gonna poop on my foot, and then next week she's gonna be like, "Let's poop on your knee," and then the week after that she's gonna want to poop on my chest, and then the week after that she's like, "Eat it all, chew it, open your mouth and show me." No, don't you close your mouth like a
It's a slippery slope argument.
Open your mouth like a sloppy boy. Yeah, you're my
like a sloppy boy.
Yeah, you're my sloppy boy. Eat it up. And then the week after that, my elbows and knees have been tied together with saran wrap so that I can only walk on my elbows and knees. And there's a trough, like a pig's trough, and I'm wearing a pig mask. And I have a pigtail butt plug, and there's just a trough of shit, and that she's been saving all week. She's been refrigerating her poops and eating terribly so that she could create an entire trough of her feces that I have to eat. And she's pushing my head in it, and she's saying, "You're my dirty boy. You're." I'm sorry.
You're sloppy boy.
I regret.
It's got a little PTSD right there.
Yeah, I love that. That's so fucking funny. You're my sloppy boy.
Sloppy boy.
You're my sloppy little boy. Shovel that shit into your mouth, piggy.
What are you closing your mouth and eating like a gentleman for? You're eating shit.
What if that was their fetish? That they want to poop on you and then mock you for how dirty you are and be like, "Look at you covered in shit."
This whole operation was your idea.
Yeah. This is your shit. I didn't eat kimchi last night.
Is this cuttlefish? Did you eat cuttlefish? Hang on to Karu. Yeah, I would have to. I would have to really care about the person and already have like a lot of skin in the game already. But like, if this is a person I've just started dating, it's like, no, that's not for me, and it's really never going to be for me. And I understand that if that's something that you need to be fulfilled, like this is probably going to work. If you want to go find a second boyfriend and all you do with him is shit on him, I'll support that. That's not cuckolding. That's me dodging literal shit. You go find the dude to shit on. We'll go out, the three of us, and have dinner, and I'll buy all the food and chuckle the whole time. Oh, no, honey, have some baked beans. I mean, he's over there sweating.
All right, no, dinner's my treat. We're going to White Castle. And
she loves those chili cheese fries. Have some more. No, it's all free.
White Castle, honestly, it's really shocking how quickly that goes through your body. Like you'll eat it and genuinely fucking 3 hours later you'll go to take a shit and it will smell like a White Castle store.
It's rough.
How does it go through you that quickly?
It's rough. I remember the last time I ate White Castle. I specifically remember the shit that happened after it, and it has kept me from eating White Castle again.
I've never had White Castle, but Frosted Mini Wheats do that for me. They say it takes 24 hours to digest something, yet Frosted Mini Wheats an hour later, it's go time.
Yeah.
And I can't, I need to have, like, I need to plan my day around this. It is predictable, and it has to, you can't have Frosted Mini Wheats and go paramotoring. That's a bad plan.
Well, you can, but look out.
Look out.
It's okay. You can do it, but it's a bad plan.
What is that? A disabled field trip? Look out, kids. Bombs away.
It raining.
What's that, Mommy?
Yeah.
Oh, you're my sloppy boy.
The birth of a king.
And that's how King got started. That's it. That's how it. She was at her field trip, and some paraman pooped in her mouth when she was a child, and now her husband must shit in her mouth, or she could not climax.